LSU season has been more like a horror film. Turnovers cost them victories at Auburn, against Texas A&M, and also South Carolina. Our feature presentation is called A Swamp Thing, and it's next on Prime. Venue is Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at Florida Field in Gainesville. Once again, here in Week 6, we feature the #1 team in the nation. The Florida Gators are set to take on the LSU Tigers. Hi again, everybody. I'm Mike Goldberg. Welcome once again to college football here on Prime. So far in 1994, the offense of the Florida Gators has grabbed the majority of the headlines, and justifiably so. They're 27 of 29 in the red zone. They've scored 53 points per game. Joining me for the telecast once again, a defensive stalwart in his own time, Big Dave Bro. Dave, the defense of the Florida Gators deserves their amount of ink, too.
Oh, Mike, the defense of Florida has been nothing short of fantastic. They are amazing. Last week against Ole Miss, they held them to minus 22 yards rushing. They had 9 sacks, and it starts up front with big Kevin Carter. Last week he had 9 tackles, 2.5 sacks, and one stat that really jumps out and grabs you is what the points that they have allowed in the second half. None. Look at that. 4 games they have not allowed a point in the second half.
The Tigers of LSU are just 1-3 on this football season, but their 3 losses has come by a combined 10 points. They've got problems at quarterback, though. Jamie Howard, a guy who threw for 339 yards here at Florida Field 2 years ago, has thrown 12 interceptions this season.
Well, Jamie Howard's lost his confidence, and anytime a quarterback loses his confidence, he's done. He needs to regain that, and Curly Hallman decided to take the pressure off him. What he would do is he would start a new youngster, Melvin Hill, number 17. No stats on this young man.
What a place to start your collegiate career. They call it the Swamp. Gainesville, Florida, where the Gators have yet to lose an SEC contest under Steve Spurrier. They look for number 15 in a row in conference at home next.
Someone will be there. Where's the new president? I hear the new president.
Times are conference now.
Who's picking up the new president?
Peterson.
What does he drive?
I don't know. Ask Harry.
I hope it's clean. Harry, what does Peterson drive?
Volkswagen. What?
No,
Volkswagen. Is Peterson picking the president up in a Volkswagen?
We'll be back at the office in about 45 minutes.
New?
New. No, I've been with the firm for 5 years.
Congratulations, but I meant the car.
The car? Yes, new.
What kind is it?
It's a Passat.
A what?
A Volkswagen Passat.
Pull over.
Is there a problem, Miss Sullivan?
No, an opportunity.
With ABS, traction control, and a high-performance VR6 engine.
But the office is straight ahead.
Oh, we can be a little late.
The new German-engineered Passat will change what you expect from a Volkswagen.
You know, if you're tired, Miss Sullivan, I'll drive for a while.
Excuse me, Shelley. Ow.
In the NFL, there's only one sports drink, and it's gotta be Gatorade.
Boy, I sure would love a bacon double cheeseburger. What do you say? You want one?
What do I say you're crazy. We'll lose our spot in line.
We're the only ones in line. Come on. It's just gonna take a minute. What could happen?
Hurry to McDonald's, and for a limited time, get the Bacon Double Cheeseburger. It's a bacon lover's dream with twice the meat and that smoky bacon flavor. With large fries and a medium Coke, it's just $2.99.
Hey, is that someone in your seat, Bacon Boy?
What you want is what you get at McDonald's.
Mr. Gullible guy.
The college football game of the week on Prime is brought to you by the new Volkswagen Jetta and by Gatorade Thirst Quencher. When you're thirsty, it's gotta be Gatorade. By McDonald's. What you want is what you get at McDonald's today. And by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. Florida Field, our venue, and the head coach of the LSU Tigers is Curly Hallman. Curly in his 4th season. He was an assistant on 2 national championship teams in 1973, Alabama, and 1981, Clemson. He has run into hard times since his head coaching days in Baton Rouge, struggling through 3 straight losing seasons. To avoid a loss today, you must look at your McDonald's keys to victory.
Well, first of all, LSU needs to concentrate on the game. 80,000 plus people can put a lot of pressure on you if you don't focus on this game. The quarterback situation has been the most uncertain position all week. LSU hopes that shuffle that they've made in a new quarterback will give them success. And LSU may be the kindest team in college football today. They've given up 12 interceptions. They've had 5 fumbles. They need to get selfish. Keep the ball. Hog the ball. Don't give it up easily.
The head coach of the Florida Gators, the 1966 Heisman winner, Steve Spurrier, 7-0 lifetime against LSU, 4-0 as a coach, 3-0 as a quarterback. The McDonald's keys to victory for the top-ranked team in the nation.
Well, when you're winning, it's easy to look ahead. Next week is Auburn. November 26th is Florida State. Florida could get tripped up if they look ahead, but Steve Spurrier won't allow them. One thing that's made Florida's defense so great is pressure. Last week they had 9 sacks of the quarterback. They need to keep that pressure on. And last week no one could stop Jack Jackson. 6 catches, 120 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's averaging 30 yards per kickoff return, faster than a speeding bullet, able to leap tall buildings with a single bound. He's a Superman of Florida's offense.
They love their Gators here at the Swamp, and justifiably so. Since Steve Spurrier renamed the stadium and he became the head coach, look at the record at Florida Field. 25-1, 14-0 against SEC opponents. They have been dominant here in Florida, looking overall for their 17th straight win here against an SEC opponent, are the top-ranked team in the nation. LSU won the toss. They did defer, so the Tigers will kick it off, and we are underway in Florida. Jackson and Anthony back deep. Jackson 5 yards deep in his end zone, and he will keep it there. The Florida Gators are led by their quarterback, the senior Terry Dean. 10-0 as a starter, number 2 in the nation on the efficiency chart. 17 touchdowns against 4 interceptions this year.
Terry Dean is he is everything you want as a quarterback. A heady quarterback, Mike. When he gets out there, he's got a great presence of the field, knows all his routes. He is just a marvelous quarterback.
The Gators to start it out offensively on their 20-yard line after the touchback. Dean dumps it off. That's Elijah Williams. No gain. Good defensive play by Gabe Northern. The offensive line, Jason Odom, second-team SEC performer 1 year ago. And when you look at the specialty players, there are some very special ones for the Gators. You run all the way through the fine core of specialty players. But the guy you have to highlight is number 1, Jack Jackson.
He may be number 1 in his number, but I think he's got a big S on the front of his chest because he was Superman last week.
Number 3 all-time, 21 touchdowns. Play action, Dean to Jackson. In and out of his hands. The defensive backfield for the LSU Tigers, and they will be tested today. The strong safety is the senior Gary Pegues. Linebacking core is a young one. Mike Calais in the middle, the guy who makes a lot of plays, and so is the super sophomore Alan Stansberry. But the youngsters are doing the job up front on the defensive line. A redshirt freshman in Gabe Carmona, or check that, David Carmona.
Carmona's amazing. I mean, we're talking about a freshman that just comes in here and just starts taking over. 19 tackles. He's the 3rd leading tackler on this team. Already has 3 sacks.
His partner, Gabe Northern, number 88. On 3rd and 10. Jackson still can't hold on. 3 and out for the Gators.
Oh, and that's a surprise to me because Jackson didn't miss anything last week, and he's dropped 2 passes, 2 catchable passes in this first series of downs. Again, right over the middle. Watch Jack Jackson. Right behind him a little bit, but a very catchable ball. He would have caught that one last week.
And with Shane Edge ready to punt the football away, watch out, the ever so dangerous Eddie Kennison had that 100-yard punt return against Mississippi State earlier this football season. One of the finest returners in the nation. And Edge punting from as deep in his own end as I think he probably has all season long. They'll try to roll it to Eddie Kennison and give him no opportunity for a return. Great punt by Shane Edge to keep the football away from the hands of Eddie Kennison. Melvin Hill, the true freshman, the starting quarterback today for the LSU Tigers. Not only is this his first collegiate start, but due to an injury in the preseason, he really hasn't had all that much practice time.
Look how young he is. He was born in '75. He's only 19 years old.
Melvin Hill, number 17, the starting quarterback today for the LSU Tigers. Expect to see Jamie Howard at some point, though, in the football game. And this crowd is going to get right into it and make it tough on the freshman.
Oh, yeah. Here comes the swamp thing, and that's noise.
Line of scrimmage, the 32. Complete to the big tight end, David LaFleur, up near the 40-yard line where he's forced out of bounds. The offensive line led by the 315-pounder Marcus Price. Blanchard is a great college student. And then the man we talked about earlier today, number 2, Eddie Kennison. As speedy as they can be, a special team standout. What they need to do is get him more involved on the offense.
Yeah, just give him that little dump pass a few times. Let him get one-on-one with the backs and use that great speed, Mike.
A gain of 7 on first down. 2nd and 3. Ball spotted on the 39-yard line of LSU. And motion and a flag on the play.
He may have used too much time.
Dick Burleson, our referee today.
Delay of game, offense.
Well, that's tough on a quarterback. He needs to look up and find out how much time he has.
And with 84,000 strong here at the Swamp, as always, the 8th largest on-campus stadium in college football. You know these Gator fans are going to make it tough on the youngster who goes from the gun on 2nd and 8. Jermaine Sharp. Stutter steps back to the original line of scrimmage. The Florida defense, led by the Thorpe Award candidate, the defensive backfield, a good one, Larry Kennedy there. The linebacking crew, look for James Bates on the inside to try to have a big day. He's in for the injured Dexter Daniels. And the big man, Henry McMillan, is out up front, but Kevin Carter is in.
Well, Kevin Carter had the game last week, I think, of his career. He was outstanding. I saw him running 40 yards, side to sideline to sideline. 3 sacks. What more can you do on defense?
3rd and 3 from the 39. Plenty of time. 1st down and more to the big tight end, David LaFleur.
And that was an interesting pattern there and call by the quarterback, because what Hill did, Hill was very aware of Carter on his left side, of the left of your screen. So watch, he just seems to drift over to the away from Carter and finds his tight end. Nice call. Now Carter's the big man on the outside, number 57. He uses a bull rush here. He gets stepped up and now come back up underneath. They do some games. He is just awesome in there. Uses that great strength and quickness.
Gain of 8, a 1st down on the 47. Jermaine Sharp. Kevin Carter with the stop.
And Mike, it's interesting to look at the sequence of calls. When I talked to Curly Hallman yesterday, I said, you know how to take pressure off the quarterback, don't you? I said, use those little dump passes, 5 to 7 yards passes. Don't go for the big bombs. Don't allow your quarterback to be under too much pressure. And he said, that's all the things that we're going to use today. Use those short patterns. Let him get a little bit of confidence by having 2 and 3 completions in a row.
Curly Hallman, very animated yesterday during our pregame visit. Has a lot of confidence in the youngster Melvin Hill. Figures it's a win-win situation. Hill plays well, takes the pressure off of Howard. Hill doesn't play well. Howard comes in and becomes the hero. Right there, Ellis Johnson, big play on it looked like what was a broken play by the LSU Tigers. Ellis Johnson bringing down the quarterback, Melvin Hill.
That was going to be a quarterback draw. They went out of a shotgun position. It's interesting. This is quarterback draw. You want to take everybody to the outside. You can see there's no one there to the outside. They just came up there and they just crushed the pocket around Hill. Big down, big pressure.
3rd and 11. Ball on the 45-yard line of LSU. Hill, complete, but it'll be way short of a 1st down. Defensive play made by Antone Lott. The reception by 89, Chris Hill, the older brother of the quarterback, Melvin.
You know, Mike, you look at a play like this and you say, yes, it was complete. far short of what the first down yardage was. But I believe that they're trying to build some confidence in Melvin Hill. He's completed a lot of passes so far. He's got that little rhythm going.
Chad Kessler to punt for the first time. The redshirt freshman, 16 kicks, a 37-yard average. And Sorolla Palmer to return, number 17 for the Gators. Sorolla set up at about his own 18-yard line. Pressure on Kessler. Does not get a good kickoff. Although it takes a favorable LSU roll, and it'll be down at the 22-yard line. We are scoreless in week 6. It is the college football game of the week on Prime.
Nothing is tougher on dirt. Than a 191 horsepower Chevy S-Series extended cab 4x4. Chevy trucks like a rock.
TWA has a better idea. TWA replaced Coach with Comfort Class, which gives you more legroom for the same price and makes TWA.
Yeah, thanks. That's fine. I gotta go. Yeah, it comes in emerald green.
For even more information about the new Passat VR6, call 1-800-DRIVE-VW.
Hi, everybody. I'm Fred McLeod. Join Mike O'Hara, Kurt Sylvester, and me every Monday night at 7 o'clock for Lions Monday Night Magazine, as we'll be taking your phone calls and also be hearing from Lions players.
Scott just threw a beautiful pass out, and I was able to catch it. And I mean, it's just the type of risk you have to take if you're going to move on to the next level.
There's all this debate between who's better, Emmitt Smith or Barry Sanders. Who's the better player, Barry or Emmitt?
Well, I think Barry is because of some of the things Barry does.
I know when I walk in the defensive huddle, I have to look at every guy's eye and see, you know, that guy is ready. You know, he just has fire in his heart and he's ready to go.
Over the 5 years I've been here in Detroit, we pride ourselves on special teams.
You may have had a personal foul, and I just wanted to ask you about that.
Which personal foul was that?
Lions Monday Night Magazine live here, the only full show devoted to Lions football on Passports, your source for Michigan sports.
Dave, we were talking to Steve Spurrier yesterday about his quarterback, Terry Dean, and he compared him to Steve Young. He says, this is a great athlete playing quarterback. Ran a 4.56 40. Terry Dean's numbers very impressive already, over 1,000 yards this year. Line of scrimmage, the 22, pressure from the backside. Dean gets it away to Fred Taylor. Taylor cuts back and is hit at the 20-yard line.
Boy, Dean was under tremendous pressure from the backside that time. He barely got that ball off.
Gabe Northern all
Gabe
over the quarterback.
Watch Gabe Northern from the backside. No one touches him. Dean was lucky he got that ball off. That was kind of a wobbly one. Of course, Fred Taylor, number 21, came and caught the ball. It was going to be that slip screen out to the flat. But great pressure. That's what Northern needs to do today. Keep that pressure on Terry Dean.
Gabe Northern, the junior from Baton Rouge. 6 tackles and a sack last week against SC. Over the middle, wide open. Overthrew his intended receiver, Riedel Anthony.
Boy, this is anything like anything other than a normal Gator start. This is amazing. They've had no success. If they don't complete this third down in about 11 yards, they're going to face their second 3-and-out series.
Safe to say that if that happens, it will be the first time this year that the Gators have gone 3-and-out on successive series. So on 3rd and 12, Dean to Jackson, complete. First down, 40-yard line. He's brought down by number 42, Rodney Young.
Now that's the Jack Jackson that we saw last week. Simple corner pattern where you cut back in towards the post. You'll see he's going to come from the right of your screen. Good blitz pickup there by Fred Taylor, number 21. Jackson all alone across the middle. Get down, make that little pile, and comes down with a big first down.
A gain of 20 yards. Gators on the 40-yard line. 1st and 10 situation just underway here at Florida Field. Fred Taylor off left side. Taylor has a couple of more blocks, and he is into LSU territory. Fred Taylor, the true freshman, the most highly touted running back here in the state of Florida since Emmitt Smith runs for 13 yards.
And Mike, this is really tough on a defense because Florida goes in the up stance, and you think the up stance is going to be a pass protection. And what they do is as they come off the ball there in the up stance, they don't put the hand on the ground. Then it's that little quick draw. You get several blocks out in front of him, and Fred Taylor can find the seam.
Again, Fred Taylor, same play, same seam. 30-yard line of LSU.
And the same results, another first down.
A gain of 16, a good block by the fullback, Chris Bilkey on the play.
Again, great blocking downfield by Jackson that time, number 1. He has to come down now. Stay right in front of him. Look at this. This is outstanding blocking. Just stay right in front of him. That's good. Boy, those receivers love to get in those meetings on Monday. Look at that film and say, hey, coach, you see that block downfield?
Jack Jackson, a very flashy player, but doing the yeoman's work on that particular first down play. Dean going for the end zone. Anthony throws it through the end zone. Redell Anthony, the intended receiver.
Well, Mike, you know we have this big quarterback controversy here. Dean, last week, he thought he had a bad day. He said, hey, I just chalked it up as a bad day. I forgot about it. I'm right back into the offense. That's what Jamie Howard has not been able to do. He's not been able to forget it. He's been under so much pressure at LSU that he's just kind of caved in a little bit to it.
Steve Spurrier pointed out to us, you have to remember, Terry Dean has not played that many football games. He was a backup to Shane Matthews. His first complete game was last year against Alabama, and then he played, of course, in the Sugar Bowl against West Virginia. 2nd and 10 on the 30. Little dump off to Jack Jackson. He breaks 1 tackle. And he's finally hauled down at the 22-yard line by Ivory Hilliard.
This is the kind of pattern that you want to run with a Jack Jackson type player. It's a little curl off the line. Watch this, come off the line now, just turn around, get the ball, hope that you have that 3 to 4 yard cushion. Now make a miss, back, inside, outside, pick up a couple blocks and pick up positive yardage.
A gain of 8, 3rd and 2, ball on the 22-yard line. 21 touchdown receptions for Jackson. If he gets a touchdown, he's going to tie Wes Chandler on the all-time list for number 2. Fred Taylor gets the first down for the Gators. Rodney Young again on the defensive play.
Another one of those first downs inside that red zone. Now the red zone is 20-yard line in.
29 trips for the Gators this year. 24 touchdowns, 3 field goals. 27 of 29 in the red zone. Taylor inside the 5. He's still on his feet. Touchdown, Florida. A 17-yard touchdown run, the 3rd touchdown of the year for the true freshman Fred Taylor.
Well, you think of someone 6'1", 214 pounds as being a scamper-type runner. Look at the number of times he got hit. He's just not going to be denied. Now he just gets rolled into the end zone. Big time running.
Judd Davis for his 30th PAT of the season. And he is 30 of 30 on the year. Fred Taylor with his 3rd touchdown of the football season. Florida leads 7-0.
Oh, hi. Elvira here, finding great horror movies for the Coors Light Flick or Treat giveaway. Coors! Huh? We're giving away 50,000 videos, like the giant Gila monster, the wasp woman, or the brain that wouldn't die. Don't just stand there. Look for me this Halloween in a shocking display of specially marked Coors packages with film clips inside that tell you if you won. The Coors Light Flick or Treat giveaway. It'll be a scream.
It's time to jam.
Can you dig it? The Trojans roll into Parker Stadium as the Beavers look to dam the flow. It's an all-out war in the Pac-10.
USC battles Oregon State live at 6:30 tonight on Pass Sports.
What happens when you mix NFL football with Nashville country music? You get NFL Outlaw Country. Football like you've never heard before.
For working man.
Join Travis Tritt for one partying home video featuring the biggest stars of the NFL doing their thing to the hottest sounds in country.
What goes up must come down. Come back around.
Don't miss this special TV offer. There are absolutely no magazines to buy and no clubs to join. Call and order Outlaw Country, where the NFL meets Nashville in one unforgettable home video. Only $19.95.
Use your credit card and call 1-800-253-8005 to order your NFL Outlaw Country video, where the NFL meets Nashville. Only $19.95 plus shipping. This is a special TV offer. Call 1-800-253-8005.
It's time to jam.
Can you dig it? The Trojans roll into Parker Stadium as the Beavers look to dam the flow. It's an all-out war in the Pac-10. USC battles Oregon State Saturday at 6:30 live on Prime.
Fred Taylor, 52 yards rushing on that drive, caps it off with the touchdown. Fred Taylor, his third of the year, and Dave Rowe, the first touchdown this season scored against the LSU Tigers in the first quarter.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, Fred Taylor needs to go over and tap all those offensive receivers on the back and say, hey, great blocks downfield.
Line of scrimmage, the 20-yard line for LSU. Jermaine Sharp going nowhere.
Mike, we may be able to take another look at that touchdown by Fred Taylor, but watch the blocks downfield. Each one of the wide receivers runs to a man right there. You see him lock up with their man. Now here comes Taylor into the picture. Good block there, good cut, but look at those blocks downfield. And the results, 7 points.
The one man you saw on your screen, number 28, Chris Doring, blocking for the future star here, and he's going to have to share time with his buddy Elijah Williams, the redshirt freshman. The future is bright at the tailback position, and so is LSU's tailback. Number 1, Jermaine Sharp, driven out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Flag on the play. Kevin Freeman defensively for the Gators.
That flag was thrown way deep in the secondary, and on a running play, that's almost always holding. There's the man of the hour, or the man that we thought was going to be the man of the hour.
Number 4, Jamie Howard, the starting quarterback up until today's football game. Jamie is a junior. Melvin Hill getting the start today for the LSU Tigers, who are walking back towards their end zone. Looks like it's going to be a holding violation against the Tigers.
Yeah, where that flag was thrown in the secondary on a running play, it's awfully hard to have a defensive penalty there. It's holding against LSU.
Remember, a couple of years ago, we mentioned it on the top of the show, a career best day for Jamie Howard.
Against the offense. Penalties from the spot of the foul.
339 yards, 2 touchdowns against the Gators. But this year for Curly Hallman's team, Jamie has thrown 4 touchdowns but 12 interceptions.
Well, what they need to do in this situation is not try to get it all on this one down. See if they can get that 10 to 12-yard curl pattern, maybe crossing, and then try to pick the rest up on 3rd down.
2nd and 20. That'll be 2nd or now 3rd and 19. A gain of just 1 yard, maybe 2 at best for Jermaine Sharp.
That was an interesting call, because that call doesn't fool anyone. It's so slow developing that your defensive lineman can react back to it. You've got to go to the air. You've got to pick up 12 to 15 yards. If I was Melvin Hill in this situation, I may try Kennison out on the outside, let him get in that one-on-one situation, see if he can go up and get it.
3rd and 18 from the shotgun. And a flag is thrown before the timeout. We'll see, because Melvin Hill did motion for a timeout. And the first man he went to talk to was big brother Chris Hill, as you see Curly Hallman on the sidelines.
Boy, and those things compound the problems that you have on offense. I believe they're going to give him the timeout.
It's interesting. Curly said that they wanted to back off of Jamie Howard mentally. He said he'll be fine, and Jamie Howard needs to know that we fully support him. We believe in him, but we also believe in Melvin Hill, and we think we can take a little pressure off of Jamie by letting Melvin get into this football game today.
Well, quarterbacks are usually those ones that have ice water in their veins. I played with the great, Curly knows him, I should say, Kenny Stabler. And Stabler, I remember one game he threw 6 7 interceptions in the first 3 quarters. And Curly Hallman and I were talking about that last week, and he was upset because Madden pulled him. He said, heck, I had a heck of a shot at the NFL record. That's what you have to be, that type of mental attitude as a quarterback.
It's another SEC battle as Prime's Game of the Week travels to Athens, Georgia to get our first look at Heisman hopeful Eric Zier. The Bulldogs of Vanderbilt step between the hedges next Saturday at 12:30 Eastern on most Prime affiliates.
And Mike, this is where Florida's defense can really put pressure on you because you're thinking blitz, they're dropping deep. I mean, they come after you.
They had 9 sacks last week against Ole Miss. 3rd and 18. They're not going to get 18 yards that way, big guy.
No, that's a surprise play again. I was really surprised at the last 2 calls because you're not going to pick up 10, 15 yards, as you said, in running plays against this Florida defense.
Mark Campbell defensively for the Gators. The junior from Miami. And that is going to give Sorolla Palmer good room to work on the punt from Chad Kessler. Palmer's lined up just about at midfield at his own 45-yard line.
And here's where Florida puts those 10 men up on the line, and they flat out come after you.
They blocked one last week, and they got one this week. Football still free. Gators finally have it. Sam McCorkle with the block. Riggins finally picked up the football.
And there's Zook, the special teams coach. He went all the way down. Ron Zook went all the way down to the end zone to congratulate his men.
And justifiably so. The former defensive coordinator. He was demoted, if you will, when Bobby Pruitt came in, but Ron Zook has made the special teams very special this year at Florida. Their second block punt in as many weeks. Elijah Williams breaks the tackle. He's to the 6-yard line, where Stansberry finally hauls him down.
Well, let's take another look at that block, but you'll notice that there's 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Look how quickly they come in. And they talk about take it off his foot. That's the comment that Zook tells his players. Take it off his foot. In other words, don't run into him. Dive for where his foot is going to be as he follows through on his kick. And 2 weeks in a row blocking a punt for what looks like another touchdown.
Last week they turned it right into the touchdown. And now they wait a couple of plays and go to Jack Jackson. Florida scores again. Touchdown reception ties Wes Chandler on the all-time list for Jack Jackson. He does it against Curly Hallman and the Tigers.
And Curly Hallman realizes he's got to get some offense going. You can't run on 3rd down and 18 and hope to pick up 18 yards on a 3rd down running play. He put a lot of pressure on his kicking team. They did not respond.
Trouble with the PAT, trying to make something out of it.
Uh-oh, watch this.
He may not go. What a defensive play made by 14 Shane Edge. Tremendous play. It would have been 1 point, but Shane Edge makes the play on Torrey James, who intercepted the attempted PAT, which would have been good for 2 points on the throw. Bad snap, but nonetheless 13-0. The top-ranked Gators leading the LSU Tigers. 4:50 left in the first.
Why is Embassy Suites twice the hotel? First, you get a suite with 2 big rooms. Evening beverages are on the house, not on the bill. And our cook-to-order breakfast is free of charge. Obviously, this isn't your typical hotel. It's twice the room, twice the comfort, and twice the value. And it's only at Embassy Suites. Twice the hotel. Call 1-800-EMBASSY.
Hi, I'm Steve Garagiola on the set of Live on Past. The set? What happened to the set? Let me tell you. Get this junk out of here. Out with the old, in with the new. Big new changes. Mega changes. Live on Past, Monday.
It's the zone, baby. Live on Pass is in the zone.
Could that Was that? No, it might be. You better find out. Monday, live on Pass, 6 o'clock.
It's the mega sportsman Ike Griffin in the house, live on Pass.
Lindsey Hunter sizing up Sabalos. Don Chaney near the midcourt line to watch. Time working down. It's down to the final second again. Dumars.
Whoa! Count it! 114, 113. Isaiah looks like a little kid. He's leaping all over the place.
Unbelievable.
The key play on the two-play scoring drive was the block punt by McCorkle. It took just 36 seconds for Dean to hook up with Jack Jackson for the 5-yard touchdown reception. 13-0 Gators. Defense, Bobby Pruitt told us yesterday, the defensive unit has to get their Gatorade to go because they are right back on the field after the kickoff. Edge boots it deep. Kennison driven way back into his end zone. And he'll keep it there. There is Jamie Howard. Chin strap isn't hooked up. Melvin Hill back in the football game. When should Curley think about going to Jamie, Dave Rowe?
Well, right now he's still disgusted. You can just almost read it on his elbows being folded like that. He's really not into the game right now. But you let that young man get the call, and I promise you, he's got itchy feet. He's going to want to get into this football game. I thought there was a flag on that kick. I thought the Florida team was offside.
Sure enough so, and they will have to kick it again.
Offsides on the kicking team. 5 yards and kick over.
Now, generally, the situation is the referee has a microphone, but you say it, and then he says, do you have a hookup to the officials today, Mr. Rowe?
Well, I tell you, some of the yellow flags saved me some embarrassing moments when I played, so I'm very cognizant of yellow flags.
Jack Jackson now tied for #2 all-time on the Florida Gator touchdown reception list with Wes Chandler. He is too shy of Willie Jackson Jr. for the all-time Gator record.
Mike, I was thinking about, you talked about that 36-second scoring drive. That's not much of a drive. But, of course, Florida hasn't needed much time this year to drive the football and score.
Well, if you drove to the store around the corner and it took 36 seconds, you'd still say, hey, I'm going to drive around.
Yeah, it'd have to be right next door.
This kick will be very short now as Kennison takes it on the 10. Scampers his way up to the 29-yard line. So a gain of 9 on the penalty call, the offsides of the Florida Gators.
Well, a huge series this time for LSU. You're down 13-0. Your defense has been on the field most of the time. Really important that your quarterback comes in and starts taking control of the football game.
That quarterback is Melvin Hill, #17. If you joined us late, the true freshman getting the start today. First-team All-State performer from Mansfield, Louisiana. Little dump off. And moving out of bounds, Todd Burks.
See, that's a good play. That's a good call right there. You let him in the shotgun formation, Mike, so he doesn't have to take the ball and run back, set up, and find his field. So you let him in that shotgun position where he's got a little bit more time to pick up his wide receivers. Good call by Curly Hallman and his group.
Gain of 7. You see Burke's numbers on the year. Todd, #14. Under 5 minutes remaining in the first. On the play, Florida doing a good job again of defending the run. Ellis Johnson making the tackle of Jermaine Sharp.
And you want me to guess on this one? Probably. I'm going to say someone was in the neutral zone.
Okay.
Oops, I think it's going to go against LSU. I may be wrong. I thought I was wrong one time before in my life, but this time I think I am.
Ellis Johnson's really been playing great this year. The senior from Wildwood, 6'3", 283. The spring defensive MVP.
Illegal formation on the offense. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Well,
I was wrong. I'm sorry. Well, you asked me for a quick one. You know, you talked about Ellis Johnson. Let me just tell you something. Oh, as we look at the Florida coaches, well, they look kind of relaxed, don't they?
There's John Reeves.
Yeah, I remember him. Great quarterback.
Absolutely. Was the quarterback with the Tampa Bay Bandits when the head coach Steve Spurrier was leading that group in the USFL.
How about the Philadelphia Eagles? I remember those days when he was quarterback there.
John Reeves in charge of those talented tailbacks, Elijah Williams and Fred Taylor. Good time for Hill. He has Burks wide open, and he's into Gator territory with the reception.
Boy, this was a great pass for Hill. Hill was under pressure. It looked like he was going to get those quick feet and bail out, but he stayed with his wide receiver for a long time. Watch the pressure that he's under. Again, shotgun so he can pick up downfield. Now look at the pressure right there. He never saw the completion, but the result was there.
22-yard gain for Todd Burks.
Look at that pressure right in his face. And down he goes.
Longest offensive play of the afternoon for the Tigers. Ball spotted on the 47 of Florida. Jermaine Sharp has a hole, but Ellis Johnson plugged it up very quickly.
When you look at those big men inside, when they get that arm on you, they've got such strength. They just rip you down. And Ellis that time, Johnson, as he moved over, he just kind of got one arm on Sharp and just ripped him to the ground.
Last week, a career best 130 yards you saw for Jermaine Sharp.
Watch this big arm come in here. One arm right there. Don't let go. That's strength.
Big plays so far this year for Ellis. Timeout, LSU. They're burning those timeouts with frequency here in the first quarter. That is their second call this half.
You know, we talk about the strength of this Florida team. They have a term here. Have you been Teutonized, they call it, I believe it is. Well, Rich Teuton is their strength coach. He takes them in there and they build up strength in their arms, upper body and leg strength. That's incredible. And they say, they bring these young recruits in and they say, son, you're going to be Teutonized if you come here.
A lot like you're in my pregame routine.
Right.
Prime takes you coast to coast every Saturday. Tonight in the Pac-10, USC hopes to bounce back after being upset by Oregon 22-7 last weekend. The Trojans take on Oregon State live from Parker Stadium at 6:30 Eastern on most Prime affiliates. 13 weeks of college football doubleheader right here on Prime. Mike Goldberg, Dave Rowe, Florida Field. They call it now Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at Florida Field. Mr. Griffin obviously making a nice donation in the decade of the 90s. 3 minutes remaining. Steve Spurrier would rather just call it the Swamp, though.
Well, you know, he's made believers of them, especially those kind of players like Johnson there. He's made believers that this Swamp thing has some kind of a mystique. We're going home. I heard him about 2 weeks ago saying, hey, we'll be back in the Swamp after next week, and we're ready to play.
First of 5 straight home games for the Gators. 2nd and 5 from the 42. Little play action. Complete to Kennison. He gets a good block. Still on his feet. Near the 20-yard line. What a move Eddie Kennison made to get that extra yardage.
Oh, this was outstanding. But watch the pressure to start with. That Hill was under. Good pressure coming up inside, and he rolls out here. Big block there by number 68. That's Bordelon. He gets a good block outside. Now, when Kennison catches this football, right there, he's out in the seam, catches that football. Look at that cut back inside against the grain, finds that seam, and he almost breaks it all the way.
They spotted on the 19, a gain of 21 yards for Eddie Kennison. In the red zone for the first time. Intercepted. And room on the sideline. Antoine Lott still on his feet. Nobody's going to get him now. Touchdown, Gators. Will kill momentum. Antoine Lott, an 82-yard interception return for the touchdown.
You talk about killing momentum. That's a momentum killer because LSU had driven the ball deep in territory. Now what you do is you take the young quarterback, you come over and say, listen, you can't make a mistake like that. You threw the ball up for grabs. It floated on you. You've got to deliver the football. But what a play by Antoine Lott. Once he caught the football, he picked up blocks all over the place. He used great speed. Watch again here. Not under a lot of pressure, but the ball floated over the receiver's head. Now, You got to bring them down, right? Watch this. Cut back inside, pick up a big block there. Somebody misses him there. Look at everybody trying to get blocks. He set up he didn't need a whole lot of blocks. Well, that's a familiar name returning interceptions, isn't it?
Indeed. Ronnie Lott's cousin, Antone Lott from Jacksonville. Great speed. He showed it there. Started just 7 games last year as a redshirt freshman due to some injuries. Inexperienced, but greatly improved, and he showed it there against Curly Hallman's football team. And quickly, the Gators lead now 20-0 with 2:10 remaining in the first quarter. Get your Gatorade to go. Defense back on the field, but I'll tell you what, when you score your own 6 points, you don't need any Gatorade, do you?
No, you don't. Well, LSU has got to recoup a little bit. They've got to get a little bit of more of a spark in here. They've had sparks of greatness where they've moved the football. And that last drive, I mean, you think about the change of events. It was 13-0 going into that last drive. If they score, they're right back into this football game. You throw an interception like that, big play, turns the entire complexion of the game around on one mistake.
And we saw that with these same LSU Tigers last time they were here on Prime. You may remember the football game against Auburn. LSU, 3 touchdowns off interceptions in the second half. Kennison can't control the football, and thus the touchback will be the result. Shane Edge doing a good job with the kickoff duties so far today for the Gators. Hill again, Melvin Hill.
Now you look at that huddle and you're seeing people yell at each other. I saw Shedrick Wilson, number 6 in there, run up to those big offensive linemen and say, let's get something going.
Last year, the Gators rolled it up in Baton Rouge, winning 58-3 with 510 offensive yards. LSU had just 263. They'll try to do better off the feet of Jermaine Sharp. He is near an LSU first down with the extra effort he got, and a gain of about 12 for Jermaine Sharp.
Mike, just like we saw last week, a lot of times when a team gets scored on very quickly, they have a tendency just to kind of take a deep breath and say, hey, let's just go out and play football. And then they respond very well. We saw that last week at Ole Miss. They got down 14-0, immediately came back and was tied 14-14. There's a man who says, I'd like to get in and help you get some points.
First and 10 from the 31. Sharp going nowhere. Looked like Keith Council was leading the way for the Gators.
Well, when you play defensive line, the biggest thing in defensive line is upper body strength and how quickly you can get rid of your blocker. And that's what Council does that time. He just kind of got into his man, big man on big man, get rid of your blocker. Look how quickly they come down the line and close on the play. See number 99 in there? That's McDonald Ferguson. 66 was Council. They just collapsed it inside.
It has been a dominating defense this year for the Florida Gators. Over the middle of Florida, can't hold on. Right there to meet him was Jason Bartley. Incomplete.
Drop passes like that. That's one LaFleur should have had. Hit him on a crossing pattern that was right in the old pocket. Probably just took his eye off it.
Unanimous preseason All-SEC. Just a freshman. Replaces a big one, Harold Bishop, drafted in the 3rd round by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A USA Today trade All-American at tight end. Number 47, David LaFleur from Westlake, Louisiana.
Big kid, 6'7", great target downfield.
Under a minute remaining in the first. 3rd and 10 from the 31. Pressure from the backside. Airs it out into double coverage. And it is incomplete. 2 Gator defenders on big David LaFleur.
Well, I thought that time Melvin Hill was going to go down from his own offensive lineman. His own offensive lineman moves along, backs right into him. Look, boom, right into him. Now he's got to bring the ball down. Now he's got to get rid of it deep. Watch the tail end here. LaFleur goes up high for it, but 2 good defenders inside, good position.
Tell you what, though, under pressure, Melvin Hill off his back foot threw that ball about 50 yards in the air. He did tell us yesterday he has quite an arm. Kessler, good boot. Drives Palmer back to the 22-yard line. Sorolla Palmer hit there big. Flag on the play. Big special teams hit by Pat Rogers, number 82.
Wow, did Rogers come down? I heard that in the booth here, and he got clipped on the play in addition to it. Watch this. Rogers is flying downfield. He doesn't even take an angle. He just comes right through him. And there's the clip on the backside of the play. Little yellow hanky comes in there.
Illegal block in the back, 10 yards during the run back, 10 yards from the end of the run.
That's the way you want your coverage team to come down, just flying through blocks.
Terry Dean already with a touchdown completion today to Jack Jackson. Florida has scored one defensively. And Fred Taylor with a scamper of 17 yards for a score. 20-0 Gators. Line of scrimmage to 15. It'll stay there at best.
That one almost got intercepted. That's that little shuffle pass underneath to the back. Watch number 1. He's going to come around. Now he wants to take the underneath pass, but see the penetration? They were fortunate that ball didn't come out of there.
Eric Valentino doing a good job of staying home against the speedster, number 1, Jack Jackson. Dean under pressure again. Just dumps it off incomplete.
I thought that was grounded in the ball.
They threw a late flag. Pat Rogers reacted vehemently to it. Rogers was the one with the pressure on the quarterback.
Oh, now they waved the flag off. Whenever a quarterback is going down, as Dean was that time, and he just kind of softly floats the ball out, you better hope that you have a wide receiver close by. Evidently, he had one close enough to not call grounding.
1 second remaining in the first quarter, so this will be the last play of the first 15-minute stanza here at Florida Field.
Now they've changed the play. Now they have called it grounding, and it's a loss of down.
Steve Spurrier's football team heading backwards right now. That does not happen very often for the Florida offense. Averaging 53 points per game. From their own 3-yard line on 3rd and 22. Almost intercepted for the touchdown. Torrey James, if he holds on, has 6.
Oh, Torrey James had 6 written all over this ball. He judged it right, closed quickly, had the interception, but at least he knocked the ball down, so it's going to bring up a longer down, 4th down on the 1.
15 minutes in the books. Florida leads 20-0 on Prime.
Some of the world's most advanced safety innovations are now available in this handsome carrying case. The new 960 from Volvo.
It's in your hands. It's in your hands. Oh, anything worth doing, it's in your hands. And Gojo takes care of your hands.
Gojo hand cleaners take care of your 2 most important tools, your hands.
Gojo takes care of your hands.
It's time to jam.
Can you dig it?
Vandy is looking to stop Georgia as the Dogs are whooping with Sire in an SEC battle between the hedges. Vanderbilt battles Georgia live next Saturday on Prime. Prime Tennis spotlights the players, the matches, the ranking. It's the tour's latest information on the IBM ATP Tour Highlight Show. All season on Prime.
We were going to a debate tournament when it happened.
4 hours from home. Thankfully, everyone was okay. We called AAA Claims and spoke with Susie Alrod. She couldn't find any rental vans, but said somehow she'd find us a vehicle to get us to the tournament. Boy, did she ever.
It was sweet.
Of all the reasons to have auto insurance with AAA, Susie Elrod is the best one.
Yeah! Auto insurance from AAA Michigan. Someone you can count on.
Mike, as we look at this score, 20-0 start the second quarter. Shane Edge is going to punt from the back of the end zone. Now, normally a punter sits back about 15 yards off the line of scrimmage. He's only about 12 yards off the line of scrimmage, but you don't want to rough him.
Gets away a pretty poop, considering the lack of room. Kennison at midfield. Kennison pointing to his blockers, did not get the block he wanted. A return of about 15 yards for Eddie Kennison.
Travel provided by Continental, offering business first-class service at a business class fare.
And LSU's Curly Hallman has gone to the quarterback, Jamie Howard, number 4, in for his first series of the afternoon.
And now we'll see what that pressure relief valve is for Jamie Howard.
And he'll do so with great field position, the 37-yard line of the Gators. Right to the air to Eddie Kennison. Kennison cut back into traffic. Gators make the stop at the 35-yard line. Johnny Church, number 40, defensively.
And oh boy, you don't want to cut back into that traffic, because that's those big linemen start running down along the line. You come too far back in on that cut in, and you're running into the likes of Johnson, Carter, McMillan was there last week, of course. This week it's Bernard. And the big guys are there.
Jamie Howard, you see the 12 interceptions. Last week he just was not mentally into the football game against South Carolina. All reports from the coaching staff at LSU tell us. Little play action. First 2 passes complete to Eddie Kennison, and he looks good right now. Jamie Howard, remember when we saw Jamie earlier this year against Auburn? He was dynamic on the offense, but he just has times when he tries to force that football into that double and triple coverage, and that just won't work.
Exactly right. You can't force it into coverage. You've got to read the coverage and go to the open man. Now, one thing about Jamie Howard is they're turning around saying, hey, remember this last time? 339 yards? Wow.
Talking to Spurrier and Bobby Pruitt, the defensive coordinator, about Jamie Howard. Both Florida coaches, that's the first thing they said was Jamie was big against us before. If the penalty is not against LSU, Robert Toomer has the first down for the Tigers.
This is a face mask penalty. Has to be. It's just which one is it? You don't trust me, do you, buddy?
I'm just sitting here waiting patiently for the officials.
5-yard face mask penalty against the defense.
You're back in my good graces.
Okay. Watch the penalty here. Face mask right there. That's the inadvertent face mask where you don't use it to rip them down with, which would make an injury. That's just the 5-yard penalty.
McDonald Ferguson grabbed the face mask of Robert Toomer. So with the penalty, the line of scrimmage, the 17-yard line. Second time in the red zone today for the LSU Tigers. First time they were intercepted by Anton Lott, and Anton returned it for a touchdown. Toomer gets just 1 or 2 at best. Good surge led by David Barnard.
And that's a good waste down in that situation, Mike. You're first down and 5 yards to go. So what do? You just kind of try to fool them, but they're not going to fool them in the middle. Look how quickly they get back to the ball. Team speed is amazing today. You've got these big linemen that are 260, 270, 280, like he is there. And that's Ferguson, I believe. They're 67.
Mark Campbell, 67.
Oh, that's Campbell. He runs like under a 5-flat 40-yard dash. That's incredible.
Second and 9 from the 16. First down and a little bit more. Robert Toomer, the ball carrier. First time we've seen Robert today. Remember, he was one of the best in Georgia high school history, breaking Herschel Walker's high school marks.
Yeah, Toomer's going all the way outside. There's a good block downfield. There's Toomer coming right at you like he's going to do it. Look at Lott play outside now. Toomer, get upfield, get as much positive yardage as you can. They push him out of bounds.
Robert Toomer, 7,868 yards, 105 high school touchdowns from Sylvester, Georgia.
Here comes the blitz.
First and goal from the 10. And the surge takes Toomer up to about the 6-yard line of the Gators. The stop made there by Kevin Freeman, the inside linebacker, number 36.
And Mike, you start talking about experience, and Jamie Howard is much more experienced in there. There is a flag on the play. We'll have to see what that flag is. But you see how he delayed his snap count? Boy, that holding call will kill LSU's position. But Howard comes out and he calls that snap count just a little bit slower.
Holding, 10-yard penalty against the offense from the line of scrimmage.
And you get holding calls when those defensive linemen are getting rid of them. And you can see Curly Hallman, he's saying, how can you call a holding call right in the middle there with such a big pile? But the officials are in position to make that call. And when those big defensive linemen get off you real quick, a lot of times you just kind of got to reach out and hold them.
So they'll spot the football now on the 18-yard line. First and goal from the 18. And a little confusion made by the officials. I thought the original line of scrimmage was the 10. Jamie Howard wants the timeout. We will take a timeout. Actually, the Gators call the timeout. Their first of the half. Howard talks to Curley about trying to get into the end zone.
Boy, I sure would love a bacon double cheeseburger. What do you say? You want one?
What do I say you're crazy. We'll lose our spot in line.
We're the only ones in line. Come on. It's just gonna take a minute. What could happen?
Hurry to McDonald's, and for a limited time, get the Bacon Double Cheeseburger. It's a bacon lover's dream with twice the meat and that smoky bacon flavor. With large fries and a medium Coke, it's just $2.99.
Hey, is that someone in your seat, Bacon Boy?
What you want is what you get at McDonald's today.
Mr. Gullible Guy.
When sports cream? When arms are sore. When legs ache. When muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell. No odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
TWA has a better idea. TWA replaced Coach with Comfort Class, which gives you more legroom for the same price and makes TWA.
I can't believe it! Dipsy Doo, Dunkaroo! Slam Bam Jam! Hey fans, there is nothing like the excitement of college sports. And guess what? Now you can get a hot new magazine that's nothing but college sports. Every issue brings you the inside story on football, baseball, hockey, and more. Hey, and does it cover college hoops? Are you serious? Like nobody else. But it's unbelievable, baby. You can get a whole year of college sports for just $11.95. Can you believe it? There's more. Call now, and you also get my super sensational college basketball yearbook free. You get all the facts, the stats, plus my scintillating predictions. This deal is awesome, baby. Call now.
Call 1-800-733-4100 now for 12 great issues of college sports, plus your free Dick Vitale's College Basketball Yearbook.
12:25 remains in the half. LSU and Jamie Howard have to score here.
Yes, can't come away from a drive like this without points.
First and goal from the 18-yard line. Of Hill. Chris Hill should have caught that football.
Oh, you cannot take your eyes off the football when you run a pattern. It was a quick pattern. He was wide open. The ball was delivered to him. This is a strike by Howard. Under pressure, Howard delivers a strike. Look at this. You've got to catch that football. You can't worry about somebody hitting you. Not to say, I don't want to put down Hill, but you've got to come down with a catch like that.
Chris Hill, Melvin Hill's big brother. Melvin was the starter at quarterback today, but Jamie Howard, the #1 guy, is in the football game now. And it's second and goal on the 18. Watch for #2, Eddie Kennison. Instead, they dump it off over the middle. Line of scrimmage will be the 5-yard line. The reception made by #6, Shedrick Wilson. Kevin Freeman hauled him down. And they will indeed spot it at the 5-yard line of the Gators. A gain of 13 on second and goal.
And a little pat on the back that time for Jamie Howard, because what he did try to force the ball in coverage, waited till someone came clear. Then all of a sudden he said, hey, I'm not going to be able to get the touchdown. I got 2 more downs to try that. Picked up as much yardage as he could. That was a good call.
Watch for 47, the big tight end, David LaFleur. Third and goal on the 5.
Listen to the noise.
Hill can't hold on. He got himself loose, but he couldn't find the football. Chris Hill, the intended receiver.
Well, this is the old play where the receiver looks back. What you do is you throw a high trajectory because the receiver is looking back at the ball. The defender is looking at the receiver. Another one of those catchable balls.
Curly Holman trying to halt that negative momentum that got all started 3 weeks ago at Auburn. And he's got to do it today against the top team in the nation. Steve Spurrier's #1 Gators. First and goal from the 18 with 5 receivers out there. Jamie Howard across the middle. Off the hands of Chris Hill. If he catches it, he probably scores.
And a great read by Jamie Howard. Put it in there well, and again, a little bit of traffic, but it got there right in time. Look at this. Good read by Howard. Just over the outstretched arms of Kevin Freeman.
Should have been caught.
It should have been caught, and there's several throws that should have been caught this year by LSU receivers, and there's times when he was hit releasing the ball and there were interceptions, and then he has messed up too.
Second and goal. Howard with all the time he needs, angling across the field, and down around the 5-yard line is Shedrick Wilson. His first catch of the day, his 8th of the year. It took a couple of guys from linebacker Kevin Freeman with friends to get him down. Shedrick Wilson, a 6'2", 204 junior out of Thomasville, Georgia. And speaking of the state of Georgia, in non-conference play, we're told now the Bulldogs lead Clemson 23-0.
Another good job. You should see Wells doing a good job there on Campbell and LSU's offensive line, giving Jamie Howard time to spot Shedrick Wilson.
Third and goal from the 5. Howard up top, left side, Chris Hill, and he couldn't catch it. Hill is 6'5", 225. He's a good man to play the alley-oop to.
And this is the brother of Melvin, the quarterback, and perfectly thrown ball, and that's just a drop.
I tell you what, he better catch those for his brother, or there's going to be some civil war. And the field goal team is on. Andre LaFleur with a 22-yarder from the left hash. Mark Workman, the snapper, Brett Besh, the holder, and he's got it. LSU gets points 3 minutes into the second quarter. It's a shame they couldn't get the touchdown. It's 20-3 with 12:03 to go. It's raining in Gainesville as LSU gets on the scoreboard. We're back to the swamp. It looks like it'll be one.
Problem? Your kitchen and bath aren't working too well for you anymore. Solution? Go to Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. Lowe's has the styles, brand names, everything to turn the room you have into the room you've always wanted. Our free computer kitchen design will help you put it all together. Plus, nobody beats our prices, guaranteed. So, how do you keep remodeling from becoming a struggle? Lowe's, because Lowe's knows kitchens and baths.
Okay, these guys are the party people. I mean, look at them. They are hungry. So then these guys here, they're the host team. They send this guy over here to Hardee's for fresh fried chicken. It's the perfect play. Hardee's chicken deal is just $5.99. 8 pieces of chicken and 4 biscuits, only $5.99. Okay, watch the replay. 8 pieces of Hardee's chicken and 4 biscuits, only $5.99. So when these guys come rushing in, here's all this chicken to tackle. When you toss a party, make the big play. Have plenty of Hardee's fried chicken to pass around.
Toyota's Once a Thought and clearance is on. 94 trucks, $99 a month. Air, stereo, and more. $99 a month. $99 a month for new Toyota trucks at Orange Park, Buddy Hutchinson, Arlington, and Ernie Palmer's Westside. Team Toyota.
So when I turn the key, it sounds like my starter is going bad. And so I figured since I heard about AutoZone, it was a good place to try as any, right? But get this. I go in there to buy a starter. The guy tells me we need to test my old one first just to make sure that's not the problem. It turns out that it's the solenoid switch. That one little test saved me a big headache. You know, that AutoZone's all right. And when you get service like that, I mean, you don't forget it.
Toyota's once-a-thon clearance is on. 1,000 cash back on 94 Tercel. That means no money down. 0 down. 1,000 cash back at Buddy Hutchinson, Orange Park, Ernie Palmer's Wessa, and Arlington. Team Toyota.
This telecast being brought to you in part by Hardee's, your tailgating headquarters, and as proud sponsor of the SEC. Get your umbrellas out if you're tailgating in the Gainesville area right now. You know, I always thought those guys had those because they were just big mouths on the sidelines. They're the smart ones.
A lot less painful doing what they do. There's no question about that.
And the kick by Wade Ritchie, deep into the end zone. No return by Riedel Anthony. And the Gators back to work offensively.
It's amazing when you say back to work offensively as Boston College is at halftime.
Well,
inched out over Notre Dame.
Tar Heels looking good this year, aren't they? North Carolina 3-1, number 14 in the nation. Syracuse has had a couple of big wins. They lead Johnny Major's Panthers. Battle of Michigan, the Wolverines' way so far. There's our Jefferson Pilots scoreline number, $1 a minute for the latest in college football. You must be 18 years to make the call. Looks like Gabe Northern did a little encroaching.
Right. Very athletic maneuver, Gabe, but that's 5 yards probably. Now, you made a comment.
Offside, 5 yards from the line of scrimmage.
Right before we left, it's a shame that LSU didn't get a touchdown. Now, you know, some Gator fans might not understand your feelings on that. Give you a chance.
We like close ball games when we come to town.
Amen. Right. It's not. We don't care who wins. Just want it to be a good game.
Yes, sir. Taylor tracked down near the line of scrimmage. And look at those dogs. We've got Georgia at home against Vandy next week. Looks like they'll take care of Clemson today. Pirates and Gamecocks scoreless. Volunteers by a touchdown over the Razorbacks. That game's in Knoxville. Alabama's playing Southern Miss non-conference later today. Auburn's at Mississippi State at 2:30 Central Time. Terry Dean buying some time, and look at Fred Taylor escape near sideline. One man can stop him, and Tory James kept him from scoring. Dean was in trouble. He got the ball away. There was a missed tackle by Pat Rogers, and Fred Taylor, the true freshman, almost went all the way.
LSU defense working hard here to get pressure on Terry Dean. The pocket's starting to break down, and he finally dumps it off to Taylor. We got a missed tackle at the point where Fred makes the catch, and then, you know, the Jets are lit. Fortunately for LSU, Tory James is there to run him out of bounds.
Yeah, he's got some afterburners, too. 51 yards on the play. First down at the 24. Time up top, left side. And had the ball not been overthrown, James would have had an interception. He was way back there behind Jack Jackson.
pass intended for Jackson incomplete. You know, Steve Spurrier has had a lot of success throwing the ball in the ACC, in the SEC over the last 7 years. And as he says, what we do is simple, and but it's
you just got your back run 51 yards with the play, and he's upset. Boy, does he put himself into the offense.
43-10 his record here in Gainesville. 2nd and 5 now. That should be 2nd and 10 as there is a timeout. Yeah, scoreboard said 2nd and 5. That should be 2nd and 10. Steve Spurrier, obviously a Heisman Trophy winning quarterback. He is the Gators offensive coordinator. When we talked to him, he described to us his main priority is his offense.
I'm the offensive coordinator, coach quarterbacks, and call the plays, so that keeps me plenty busy on the sideline. And of course, Bob Pruitt, our defensive coordinator, calls the defense. So I got full confidence. He knows what he's doing. He's got confidence I know what I'm doing, so he doesn't interfere with me, and I try not to interfere with him.
So far this year, no reason for Steve Spurrier to be interfered with. That Schottenheimer name should look familiar. That is the son of Marty Schottenheimer, head coach of the Kansas City Chiefs.
I love Dean's comment about Steve Spurrier. He said he is so competitive. He's more competitive than I am. He said, man, if you're out playing golf with him, he'd kick your golf balls out of bounds so that you wouldn't be able to recover. He said he's just an incredible competitor. He said he'll walk by and step on him. So you got to use your divot to get it out of there.
Young Brian Schottenheimer next to the head coach Steve Spurrier. Well, that's how you become successful, though. You make yourself a perfectionist, and I think that's the best way to describe Steve Spurrier. When we were in his office meeting with him yesterday, one of his pencil erasers was a little bit off center, and he adjusted it on his desk, and very meticulous about the way he runs offense, and offense certainly is his baby. They go again from the 24-yard line. Over the middle. Overthrows Aubrey Hill. Coverage on the play by LSU by Jimmy Taylor.
A lot of scuffling going on down along that offensive line. Big men trying to get that rush inside. Big man on big man. Try to get that penetration. This ball's just overthrown. No, it looked like it was tipped just a bit.
So 3rd and 5 from the 24.
A lot of confusion on offense.
Big hit immediately, incomplete. Field goal situation upcoming for the Gators. Man, were they bringing some defenders, LSU.
Yeah, he really did. Their big defensive line was flat out coming on them. Stansbury, 43. He's down on the bottom there. They were just coming after him. But a lot of confusion. Boy, and Dean took a shot there. He avoided actually the last part of that shot. But a lot of confusion. They were using that no-back offense, and they went down to 1 second on the clock.
Be a 41-yard field goal attempt for Judd Davis. And it is good. Judd Davis, 24 of 27 in his career, inside 50 yards. And the Gators now lead 23-3, 10:50 remaining in the half.
Edge played well. Shane Edge. What a competitor.
The punter, the kickoff man, the senior from Lake City. Edge combined with Judd Davis, two of the finest kicking tandems in all of college football. Coming up at the half here on Prime. Stay with us. Our show is right here on the road. And what is the road to #1? We'll take a look at the games that remain in the SEC for the Florida Gators, and plus some very important out-of-conference matchups. We'll have a look at the first half highlights and analysis, also scores from around the nation on the new Sports Score Box. It's all coming your way at halftime from right here in Gainesville, Florida, as this is the Prime College Football Game of the Week.
Spurrier seems to me as if one of those coaches that, you know, you ask him, you say, well, when do you think you have control of the game? When that clock says 0-0, I don't have control beforehand. Because he was really upset that time, Mike. When they came to the sideline, you could just read the expression on his face. He was not happy.
We are in the swamp, Gainesville, Florida. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at Florida Field. Maybe that's why Coach Spurrier just named it the swamp. It was a lot easier on us guys.
One name.
You got that right. Kicking off Florida and receiving the LSU Tigers. On the run back, number 15, Troy Twilley.
Now you have to believe, if you're an LSU fan, you have to believe that Jamie Howard's got a little bit more wind in his sails, so to speak. He's got a little bit more confidence, came down, got some points, had some success, and now has to lead this offense again. He's got a little bit more bounce coming into the huddle.
second quarter. Melvin Hill played the first for LSU. Jermaine Sharp, left side, has room. Pulled down from behind, flag on the play. Looks like a face mask call will go against number 42, Darren Hambrick.
And we may see that face mask penalty. Down the line, watch the hand come out, watch the face turn back. There's the face mask. Now see if you get your hand off it right away, it's only 5 yards.
Against the defense.
If you use the face mask to tackle someone and you don't let go, then it's the major penalty.
Yeah, like what happened to Kenny Anderson years ago on Monday Night Football against the Pittsburgh Steelers. That was an ugly thing.
Yes, it was.
I don't think there's a professional football fan who does not remember that play.
It's amazing. You know who used to be the worst at it? Night Train Lane. Night Train Lane.
Maybe you were.
No, not me.
Those nice Oakland Raiders you played for. Jermaine Sharp, little stutter step, finds a hole, turns a gain of maybe 1 into about a gain of 4, and he's close to a first down.
Boy, you talk about defensive line moving along the ball. The point of attack is down at the bottom here, and watch how quickly it closes. No hole there. You got to go all the way back up to top to find the slot, the little seam where you can get positive yardage. It's good running, good defensive play.
Jermaine coming off a career best, 130 yards on 23 carries. He's got to do it against a very tough Florida defense. Kevin Freeman, the captain out there, the inside linebacker, calling the defensive plays for Bobby Pruitt's unit, who has played extremely well this football season. One of the top defenses in the nation, owned by the Florida Gators.
Look at Howard trying to call an audible. That's a tough chore.
First and 10 from the 31. Little dump off. And a big hit. Shea Showers laid a big hit on Shedrick Wilson.
And what you're trying to do there, what Showers is trying to do is to make the cushion close quickly. Get to Wilson as fast as he can. The play's designed to go out to Wilson, and then it's one-on-one. He's supposed to juke him and get around him. But watch how fast he comes in here. And I could hear that up here. This is just smash mouth football.
There was no cushion there, big guy. Shedrick Wilson wishes he had a little cushion from that hit. Shea Showers, number 2 on the Florida Gators. Suns back out. Second and 10 from the 31. Pressure on. Howard eludes. Off balance, incomplete.
Oh, he had Eric Smith standing out there all by himself. Howard knows it too. Under a lot of pressure from the backside, does a nice job to roll away from the pressure. If he had time to look across field, he had Eric Howard. Now watch this. You get outfield now. Just find an open spot. Looks there. That's a little bit of trouble, but off to the right. Eric Howard is number 5. You may see him come into the screen. He's number 5. So there's Jamie Howard. Now Howard's saying, wait a minute, he was interfered with. He had Eric Smith, I should say, not Eric Howard, but Eric Smith over on the right side.
Pressure applied by Johnny Church of the Gators. Third and 10 from the 31 for LSU. From the shotgun. Gonna have to make some motion. Big Kevin Carter almost intercepted by Freeman. The pursuit from the backside by Kevin Carter, though, that is a very fast young man.
Well, they all run with great speed.
So a punting situation forthcoming for the LSU Tigers. Chad Kessler.
Well, I wondered why Howard didn't run that time with the football. I thought he had enough yardage to make that first down.
Good kick, driving Palmer back to the 20-yard line. Suola Palmer. A return of about 13 yards to the 33-yard line of the Gators. We will take a timeout. 8:19 remaining in the half here on Prime.
The new 960. is a very different kind of Volvo. So, we thought we'd run it by you. The new 960 from Volvo.
This is undoubtedly the richest contract in all of Michigan sports. So we've made quite a commitment to one another, and we know that we're going to get back to our winning way. So without further ado here, everybody gets the chance to witness this great occasion. I'm trying not to be emotional about this. You sure you don't want to back out of this?
I'm sure.
Sure. All right. I pull out a pin here. My hands are shaking.
My hands too.
There you go. All right. Thanks a lot. Congratulations, and we'll field any questions that you have now.
Gators lead by 20. They're looking for their 17th straight SEC victory here at the Swamp. In November, the world's greatest golfers tee off on Prime. Winners of Grand Slam and championship tournaments from the past 2 years compete for the ultimate title in the Gene Sarazen World Open Championship. It's live from Chateau Elan, Georgia, November 4th through 6th on most Prime affiliates. 8:19 remaining in the first half of play. LSU Tigers have been a team all season long, Dave, who couldn't get a break. As we mentioned at the start of the game, they are 1-3, but they've lost their 3 football games by a combined 10 points. They get a couple of breaks today, and this could be a much closer football game. Dean dumps to Elijah Williams. Those little tailbacks make something out of nothing so often.
Do they ever? I mean, they're caught in the backfield, but they've got such great team speed and such elusiveness that they pick up positive yardage. That time he picks up almost 10 yards on a play that doesn't look like it's going to make 3 or 4. It's just a little 2-yard dump pass out in the flat.
Elijah, the gainer of 9 yards on that play, he is the experienced tailback because, you see, he's a redshirt freshman. Steve Spurrier not surprised with Elijah Williams. He told us yesterday, hey, we saw that kid in spring practice last year. We knew he was going to be a good one. In the flat to Elijah. Did he hold on? No. Incomplete. Good coverage by LSU's number 56, Mike Calais, the middle linebacker.
That was great coverage by Calais. I thought he almost came down with the interception on that ball. They really both went after it. And look at Steve Spurrier. Look at how animated he is there. Just, hey, he is not happy. That's not a happy coach. Now you turn around and you look and you say, hey, he's got a 23-3 lead, but he's not happy.
Williams again, close to the first down on the 3rd and 2. Pat Rogers with the defensive stop. Williams may have gotten the first down. Let's see where they spot it. Very close.
They're going to have to measure that one.
Elijah Williams, number 25. He's from Milton, Florida. Number 1 in the Gators, number 5 in the SEC. With his yards so far today, he has the longest run from scrimmage during the Spurrier era, 51 yards. Purpose yards in the SEC. Elijah Williams, number 3, near 130 yards per contest. Then there's our buddy, number 2, Eddie Kennison. He's number 4 in the league. And Jack Jackson gets most of his yards in the air. Elijah Williams' stepbrother is Greg Allen, the standout running back at Florida State in the mid-'80s. An elusive runner has the football again on first down.
He makes a run along the line look exciting.
You know, that's an excellent point. That's an excellent point. And when they talk about Elijah Williams and Fred Taylor, they describe them a bit differently. Elijah's more that shaky runner, that Emmitt Smith type, where Fred Taylor's a little bit bigger guy like an Eric Durant.
It is. That's very true. It's a good analogy because Fred Taylor's more set up your blockers, use your blockers, work downfield, get the angle, whereas Elijah Williams is just all motion, all movement, all around.
Over the middle, complete. Short of the first down.
Talk about putting yourself in the game, Mike. I'm looking at Steve Spurrier now. He does the signaling in of all the calls. He sends the players in. He is totally in control of this offense. You see him there. That's the signal in. The other people are looking at what the call is. They mark the call down. But it's just like he's out there playing quarterback. He does not physically, but mentally he is really into the game.
That last reception by the big fullback, Chris Bilkey. Rain coming down again here at the Swamp. 3rd and 1 from the 48-yard line of LSU. Bilkey, the ball carrier. First down, Florida. He does not often get 2 plays called to him in the same series. Nonetheless, the same season.
a lot of the fans on the tail end of that wanted a fumble. But Bilkey he just brought the ball down. He was down before the fumble.
Chris Bilkey played for that mighty strong Manatee Hurricanes program in Bradenton, Florida. He's from Holmes Beach, which is right in that area. Joe Canan, the head coach in Manatee, and he also was the coach of one Tommy Frazier, who we all hope will be able to come back this football season, but it does not look good for the Nebraska quarterback. Rain really coming down now here at the Swamp. But in the Swamp, you need a little water.
Respect rain.
Elijah Williams inside the 30-yard line.
Well, now linemen love the rain. It quiets the game down. Everybody's in there grunting. You get a little mud on you, dirt. Receivers hate it. Quarterbacks hate it. Elijah Williams, he likes it. He said, hey, I got those quick feet. I get them down in a hurry. Look how quickly his feet. Look at the balance he has. Puts the ball. You see him kind of hover over and put that other hand on the ball when he's going to get hit. That's just great coaching.
A gain of 15 yards for Elijah Williams, averaging over 6 yards per carry so far this football season. He is hit hard this time as he is met by LSU's number 44, Kamaja Brooks.
Yeah, what'd you say about that rain coming? I mean, that sun coming out right after the rain?
And then it rains again.
Oh,
I didn't mention that part, did I?
Yeah, certified meteorologist up here in the booth.
Yes, I am.
Well, you're not from too far around here, are you?
Well, I spent 3 years in Sarasota, Florida. So that is very true. And I said, when I'm on the golf course and it starts raining, I say, hey, it'll blow over. And those greens will get soft and you start throwing darts in the flag. Under 4.5 minutes, over the middle. Chris Doering in and out of his hands. The sure-handed Chris Doering trying to catch a wet football, and we'll see if that takes effect on the receivers.
Yeah, it does have an effect on the receivers. Now, the officials try to switch the ball every play and try to dry the ball off, but it's a much different surface that you're trying to catch the football with. See, there they are. They dry the football off. Now, it's interesting. You don't see the gloves on these Florida players. Everybody wears those aquatic gloves today to catch the football.
Wonder if the officials dry the football off when LSU has the game, too. Those officials working the game from Florida. Jack Jackson with the reception. First down, Gators.
Well, Jack Jackson, you just got to respect his speed, so you have to play off him. You give him that football short, and he's going to make something happen. Now, watch this play. Just comes off the ground just a little bit right there. Boom. Throw the inside pattern. Now, make something happen. He knows how far he has to get for that first down. It's another one of those tough receivers. They don't mind getting hit here.
Jack Jackson looking to surpass Wes Chandler on the all-time touchdown reception list. He has one today, 22 in his career. Dean dumps it off to Jack Jackson. Breaks one tackle, but gets down on the second try by the LSU Tigers. Here's what the officials see, if you folks are wondering how they view a football game.
It's a lot different at field level. This is field level. Watch how many people miss. There's one misses. He's back. Now there's the official. He's trying to look. I see him, how intent he's looking in there, looking for a face mask call, look for the clip, the illegal block in the back. Then come running in, mark the spot. They do a great job.
They'll call it a gain of 6 on first down. 2nd and 4. Ball spotted on the 11-yard line of the Tigers. Dean under pressure to Jackson. He's hit by Rodney Young, but not until he gets close to another Florida Gator. First down. Our venue is the Swamp. It is called Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at Florida Field. This is week 6 of Prime's college football package. Mike Goldberg, Dave Rowe, bringing you the top-ranked team of the nation, the Florida Gators, taking on the LSU Tigers. Our score is 23-3. Gators in the lead. Terry Dean, the Heisman hopeful, already has thrown 1 touchdown today. He is in the shotgun formation. He'll keep it himself. Terry Dean, touchdown, Florida.
I thought that Terry Dean looked back at Spurrier to see what he was supposed to do. As he was calling the signals, he turned and looked back at the coach. It was almost like Spurrier yelled out, "You run it in."
First rushing touchdown of the year for Terry Dean. And watch this play for 2. And it's going to be short. The trickery to Shane Edge for the 2-point conversion, but it comes up empty.
Now watch, see if we can see Dean all the way through. Now look, he looks back to the quarterback, back to his coach. Okay, wait a minute, they're not in the defense. What should I run, coach? Run it in yourself. And he did.
I'll tell you what you run. You run the football, young man. And he had a wide open track into the end zone. The first rushing touchdown to go with 18 pass completions in the end zone this year for Terry Dean. 29-3. Gators in command with 2:45 remaining in the half.
No wonder Steve Spurrier said, hey, talent-wise, he's one of the best I've ever coached.
If you joined us late, the LSU Tigers started Melvin Hill at quarterback to be opposed by Terry Dean. And in the second quarter, Jamie Howard came on. The Gators' Anton Lott had an 82-yard interception return for touchdown. Jack Jackson has a touchdown reception, and Fred Taylor has a touchdown run to go along with Terry Dean's. Add to that a field goal by Judd Davis and a field goal back the other way by Andre LaFleur. And you're up to date here in week 6 on Prime. Eddie Kennison back to receive the kickoff. One thing the Gators do is get a lot of special teams action because they score so darn often. You got that kickoff team on the field much more frequently than in other teams around the nation.
It's one of the few specialty kickoff teams. You have to try out for their kickoff team.
Their time of possession is pretty darn high, too. And they do a good job of closing the gap that Eric Smith was looking for. Xavier McCray defensively.
Now, you talk about special teams play. The mark of a special teams play, look how quickly they come downfield. The mark on a kickoff is the 20-yard line. You let the ball go in the end zone, you get it out the 20-yard line. Look how many blue shirts are on this.
They say often a team takes on the personality of their coach, and Ron Zook, the former defensive coordinator, very energetic, very upbeat guy, and his special teams are really playing that way this year. 2:36 remaining in the half. LSU to start off on their own 14-yard line. Jamie Howard behind center. Looking for just a little bit of space. The ball carrier, Kevin Franklin, number 21. Ellis Johnson there defensively for the Gators.
Well, you start looking at this clock, and one thing that LSU does not want to do is to give this football back to Florida in great field position. So they need to drive and get a score. They need to drive and get first downs. They need to control the ball.
Play action. Johnson had the pressure. Earning the sack was Johnny Church.
Well, you talk about up the middle in a hurry. That was Ellis Johnson, 61. Now, he's not going to get the sack, but look how quickly. Does a swim move to the inside, and he's right in the quarterback's face. That was an outstanding rush. That's a pro rush. They call it a swim. It's almost like you toreador someone. You just kind of put your arm on them, swim over top, and bust it right up the middle.
A nice first half being played by Johnny Church, the defensive end from Fort Myers, a true junior, one of several experienced players, 90 tackles coming into this season in his career. Howard to the flat. Eddie Kennison. Kennison brought down by Larry Kennedy, the cornerback.
Well, if I'm Jamie Howard, I'm going to go to Kennison more. He's exciting. He catches the ball clean, catches it out, brings it in, and gets me positive yards. That's the way a quarterback does. He gets that little feel. He says, hey, I can always go to him. I can always pick up that yardage. And they start relying on each other.
A gain of 12, but short of the first down. Punting situation. Hey, fans, Prime takes you coast to coast every Saturday. Tonight in the Pac-10. USC hopes to bounce back after being upset by Oregon 22-7 last weekend. It's the Trojans taking on Oregon State live from Parker Stadium, and it comes your way tonight at 6:30 Eastern. Jamie Howard playing the whole second quarter here. Last couple of series, he has been very ineffective, as has the whole LSU offense. But credit the Florida defense. And in the second half, Dave, I want you to elaborate on what Bobby Pruitt's doing with his defensive unit and why they are so vastly improved from a year ago. Because don't take all the blame and place it on a Shedrick Wilson and a number 4 Jamie Howard. Give some of the credit to the Florida defense.
Boy, can this crowd get loud. It's amazing sitting up here in the booth. I thought we had effects in our headset. It's just the crowd screaming.
Sorolla Palmer back to receive the punt of Chad Kessler. And when you've got 1:01 on the clock and you lead 29-3, some coaches might say, hey, let's get into the half. You know, 29-3, good first half. Spurrier's looking to score.
Absolutely. That was the point I was making. And they put 10 men up on the line of scrimmage again. They're flat out coming after him again, it looks like.
Remember, they've already blocked 1 today. They didn't have any blocks last year. They've got 2 already this season.
Oh, good punt.
Another good punt by Kessler. Taking it about the 29-yard line by Sorolla Palmer. Palmer still on his feet. Palmer up to about the 44. A return of about 14 yards for Sorolla Palmer on the good punt by Chad Kessler.
Boy, it was a great punt. It's going to leave Florida 46 seconds. And this is a team that can flat out do something in 46 seconds, this Florida offense. But what a good punt. Good return here by Palmer. Find that seam, get that positive yards, gets as far upfield as you can, makes a lot of people miss, and gives his team field position on about the 43-yard line.
Sorolla Palmer from Lacombe, Louisiana, so playing against his home state guys. Dean, lots of time. Complete. Into LSU territory, Aubrey Hill.
And Mike, the clock stops while they move the chains. It's enough for the first down. The play will start with about 37 seconds. Florida gets their team up on the field, right up on the ball, and they're ready to snap as they start the clock.
Ball spotted on the 43 after the big gainer. To Jackson. Was it intercepted inbounds? We'll see.
I think
yes,
so.
LSU football. Torrey James comes away with it.
What great concentration by James on the sideline. The ball tipped off of Jack Jackson's hands, and James was about 2 yards behind him. Had the forethought to not only get control of the football, but to come down in bounds. Watch his feet. Has to have 1 in bounds. There's the tip. Look at James. Get those feet down. He looks down at those feet, and he's in bounds.
You know, when Jack Jackson has 3 passes that probably could have been caught and he doesn't bring it down, for most guys it's an average day. For Jack, he's a guy who's very tough on himself, and I think he's going to go in the locker room and say, hey, I got to get it together here. And we say that with great respect to Jack Jackson, but man, if you want to go to the NFL and play, you got to bring down those type of passes.
Certainly do. You have to go in traffic, and you have to catch the ones that you're supposed to catch.
And unquestionably, as a junior, Jackson has a chance to go into the NFL after this season. Carter trying to chase down Howard. Jamie gets it away, incomplete. Eddie Kennison did the right thing, though. He came back towards the quarterback and tried to help Jamie Howard out.
Exactly what you want to do. You're running a fly pattern. You're going deep. Now, he starts seeing his quarterback in trouble. This is what the great receivers do. Come back to your quarterback. Give him a target to throw the ball to. Good play by Kennison.
Kennison, a heads-up player, and a very exciting one. He's from Lake Charles, Louisiana, just a sophomore. Howard hooks up with Kevin Franklin. Franklin, a gain of about 8 on the play.
And who can you believe running him down all the way on the outside? Big old 57, Kevin Carter.
What an appropriate way to end the half. Kevin Carter running down Jamie Howard all day long, makes the final tackle of the first half as the Gators will go into the locker room with a 29-3 lead. And I say it once again, though, Dave Rowe, LSU had the opportunity to make this football game close here at the break.
Oh, you turn around and look at that interception that they threw when they penetrated deep in Florida's territory. They were going to be down 13-7 if they'd been able to capitulate on that. They could have scored. Might have been a different first half.
The Gators taking advantage of LSU mistakes. They lead 29-3. We're back with our halftime activities here in Week 6 on Prime.
And the Gators lead at 29-3 at halftime as the rain starts to pelt down again. Bob Kessling, it's all yours.
We're not throwing and catching near like we're capable, but hopefully we can get a little bit better second half.
Okay, Coach Steve Spurrier talking about his Gators going to the locker room, leading the Tigers 29-3. Back with halftime activities in just a moment.
The Lee Apparel SEC Game of the Week is brought to you by Lee Apparel, maker of regular, relaxed, and easy-fit jeans and casual pants. Lee is the brand that fits. By the Jefferson Pilot Life Insurance Company, the vision to power your dreams. By Winn-Dixie, the low-price leader. By Lowe's Home Improvement Warehouse. Lowe's knows home improvement. And by Hardee's, your tailgating headquarters and a proud partner of the Southeastern Conference.
WD brand beef is raised in the West, but it's fluent in a lot of languages. WD brand beef from Winn-Dixie, the beef people.
Think fast. Think Health South. At Health South, our goal is to put every type of athlete back in the game as soon as possible. Our sports medicine specialists take care of all kinds of sports injuries. Whether you're a high school, college, or professional athlete, or just an armchair quarterback. Think fast, play hard, and count on the Health South Sports Medicine Network. Health South, getting people back to work, to play, to living.
The SEC, 12 great schools with a history of excellence on the field, the court, and in the classroom. That's why we at Golden Flake are proud to be a corporate sponsor of the SEC in its activities like youth clinics and academic and scholarship programs. Golden Flake and the SEC, two traditions that give life in the South its unique flavor. Golden Flake, the favorite chip of the Southeastern Conference.
Okay, these guys are the party people. I mean, look at them. They are hungry. So then these guys here, they're the host team. They send this guy over here to Hardee's for fresh fried chicken. It's the perfect play. Hardee's chicken deal is just $5.99. 8 pieces of chicken and 4 biscuits, only $5.99. Okay, watch the replay. 8 pieces of Hardee's chicken and 4 biscuits, only $5.99. So when these guys come rushing in, here's all this chicken to tackle. When you toss a party, make the big play. Have plenty of Hardee's fried chicken to pass around.
Well, there was only a partial chance of showers. That partial has hit Gainesville full force, as right now at halftime, Florida leading here in the swamp against the LSU Tigers. Hi, everyone. I'm Bob Kessling, and welcome to halftime from Florida Field. Florida, again, the #1 team in the country, has been very impressive so far this afternoon. Their defense and their offense has dominated this game so far. So Florida leads at halftime, trying to hang on to the #1 ranking in the country. Elsewhere around the SEC, each week we'll focus on one of the outstanding players in the conference. And, of course, last week, a terrific football game in Tuscaloosa, as it was Alabama taking on the Georgia Bulldogs. It was Eric Zier against Jay Barker, and those two players had a terrific shootout. As it turns out, Eric Zier was able to go on and help his Bulldogs get in a position to win, but Jay Barker was able to go ahead and win the contest. So Jay Barker is a guy we will salute today as our SEC Player of the Week for his efforts last week against those Georgia Bulldogs. Our Molson Ice SEC Player of the Week is quarterback Jay Barker of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Barker, the 6'4" senior from Trussville, Alabama, passed for a career-high 396 yards to lead Bama to a 29-28 come-from-behind win over Georgia. Barker threw for 2 touchdowns and connected on 76% of his passes. His single-game total ranks second on the all-time Alabama passing list. Jay Barker of the Alabama Crimson Tide, our Molson Ice SEC Player of the Week. So congratulations to Jay Barker. The Pride of the Sunshine, the marching band for the University of Florida, is performing in the driving rain here at Gainesville this afternoon. Each week, of course, we will salute also somebody who's also helped contribute to the community where indeed they live. And each week, Hardy's be honoring an SEC student athlete who gives back to the community. This week's Hardy's Rise and Shine for community service SEC Student Athlete of the Week is LSU's Rodney Young, the senior captain of the Tiger football team, a spokesman for drug awareness in the Baton Rouge area. He's also a volunteer reader at local elementary schools. Hardy is proud to recognize LSU's Rodney Young will donate $500 to the United Way in his honor. Halftime, it is Florida leading LSU 29-3. Back with more from Gainesville at Florida Field in just a moment.
Canada. It's a land like no other, with a beer like no other. Molson Ice. Ice brewed by North America's oldest brewery to be bolder and bolder. It's smooth as ice. Molson Ice, from the land where ice was born.
The hottest skaters, the hottest music, together in the hottest competition on ice. It's the Rock and Roll Figure Skating Challenge. Coming to the Mid-South Coliseum November 2nd. The fantasy competition comes true. Olympic medalists Oksana Bayou, Nancy Kerrigan, Katarina Witt, Victor Petrenko, Scott Hamilton, and Philippe Candeloro. Don't miss the first post-Olympic competition for Kerrigan and Bayou. Hurry and get your tickets now at the Coliseum box office at all Ticketmaster outlets or charge by phone. The Rock and Roll Figure Skating Challenge.
Right from the start, I just knew that I was going to learn a lot. I was excited. Dr. Wilson's just a great guy. He's someone I can always rely on. You may get to class and not feel, really up to it that day, but he comes in there and he gets you into it. He's always trying to give us that taste of construction on the outside, not just what goes on in the classroom. We're all very close, and we all know how much he cares about us. He just really wants to help you and get the best out of you.
I'm John Lombardi, president of the University of Florida. What do America's colleges and universities do with your tax dollars? We maintain the world's finest and most accessible system of higher education. We provide the research and advanced technology that helps American industry stay competitive. Higher education is one of the best investments this country makes for a future we all can share.
Florida leading the LSU Tigers 29-3. The Gators, of course, this is the first of a 5-game homestand for these Florida Gators. And they've got it off to a very good start this afternoon. They have overcome some injuries on defense to hold LSU to only 1 field goal so far in this first half. Let's take a look at also another outstanding performer in the Southeastern Conference, and one of the most competitive sports is volleyball. Each week we'll be recognizing an outstanding student athlete from this sport. This week's SEC Volleyball Spotlight falls on senior outside hitter Priscilla Pacheco for the University of Georgia, a 3-time All-SEC performer. Priscilla is the catalyst on another strong Georgia team this year, vying for its 4th straight NCAA tournament appearance. Georgia's Priscilla Pacheco, our volleyball spotlight on the SEC, and of course volleyball around the SEC in full swing right now. You talk about these student athletes. One of the things they want to do is win football games, but also they want to graduate, and LSU has an outstanding student athlete on its team. Let's take a look at Michael Blanchard. Your local Southeast Mercury dealer presents this mystique moment. Former walk-on Michael Blanchard is now the starting center for the LSU Tigers. His success on the field is matched by his success in the classroom. Blanchard, a pre-med major, has a perfect 4.0 GPA, the only football player in the SEC that can claim that. And the key to his success in athletics as well as in academics is very simple.
Both reinforce good discipline. You have to be very disciplined to practice every day, to work out, to watch film, and that all deals with football. And then the same applies for coming back after practice. You have to be disciplined to stay up late and get all the work done before you go to bed and wake up and do it again the next day. So it does take a lot of discipline.
The most significant aspect of his discipline is in the management of his busy schedule. Mike must allocate his time to meet the many demands in his day.
You get up in the morning, have breakfast, and go to class usually until noon or 1 o'clock, and head over to the stadium after lunch and get dressed for practice, watch some film, have your individual meetings, head on out to practice, get done, come back for supper, then get back in the room and hit the books and just finish up what you got to do, and like I said, go to bed and wake up and do it again the next day.
Mike Blanchard is, as far as what kind of a guy he is, I guess he's the kind that you'd like your daughter to marry. But he's a very conscientious kid. I think everybody knows he's a 4.0 student. The last B he made was in gym class in the 3rd grade. He didn't bring his gym clothes with him. But he's just a tremendous kid, and as far as what kind of a player he is, I think he's a kid that gets the maximum out of his abilities. You know, he's not tall enough, he's not this, he's not that, but he's a very smart guy who is always going to be in the right place at the right time.
The pressure on the field is coming up with a win, but the pressure in the classroom maintaining a 4.0.
You do feel pressure, and a lot of it's put on myself. It's just when you have things going on a roll, like I have a streak going, you don't want to let it slip away from you, so you work that much harder to make sure that it doesn't.
Michael Blanchard of the LSU Tigers, the true definition of the ultimate student athlete. This Mystique moment was brought to you by your Southeast Mercury dealer, who invites you to test drive the all-new Mercury Mystique, now on sale. And that's exactly what a student athlete is supposed to be all about. We're at halftime. The Florida Gators are leading the LSU Tigers by a score of 29-3. Back to take a look at other scores around the country after this word from your local SEC station.
A word from the new Dodge. We humbly submit that Intrepid has redefined the American sedan. Why don't you see your friendly Dodge dealer to prove it? The new Dodge. A word from the new Dodge. Dodge Caravan is America's #1 choice in minivans, and only your friendly Dodge dealer has so many to choose from. The new Dodge.
This is what life is. This is what life Bell South Mobility.
Chili's has discovered how to make an onion blossom. Remember, we are professionals. Don't try this at home. Chili's Awesome Blossom. A huge onion battered flower-looking appetizer thing. At Chili's.
Hi, I'm Steve Hull for Hull Chevrolet. I'll bet you don't believe it when car dealers say, we're having our biggest sale ever, or we're Jacksonville's #1 volume dealer and we guarantee the lowest prices anywhere. And here's one, prices will never be this low again. I'll bet you wouldn't believe it if I said it. Plain and simple, come let us make a believer out of you. Whether it's new or used cars, trucks, or vans, it's worth that short drive no matter where you live. Come to Hull Chevrolet today and we'll make a believer out of you.
You're looking at the lovely campus here in Gainesville of the University of Florida. At halftime, the Gators are leading LSU 29-3. Now it's time for the Jefferson Pilot scoreboard, brought to you by Jefferson Pilot Life Insurance Company, the vision to power your dreams. Boston College trying to knock off the Irish for the 2nd straight year. Boston College leads 14-3 in the 3rd. Georgia Tech and Carolina are also tied 17-17, and that game's in the 3rd quarter as well. Other scores around the country, Syracuse shutting out Pittsburgh, and Michigan leading Michigan State at halftime 20-6. Georgia shutting out Clemson in the 3rd. East Carolina stunning South Carolina 27-7. That game's in the 2nd. Virginia Tech is leading Temple 14-0 in the second, and Tennessee shutting out Arkansas. That is also in the second quarter in Knoxville, 21-0. Here are the other games going on besides the Tennessee-Arkansas game. Southern Miss in Alabama. Auburn plays Mississippi State later this afternoon, and Vanderbilt is at Cincinnati tonight. Here in Florida, the Gators on top of LSU by a score of 29-3. Let's go back upstairs where it's nice and dry to Tim and Bob.
All right, Bob Kessling, you've never looked better, my man. It is 29-3 at halftime as Florida leads LSU. Bob Carpenter back upstairs with Tim Foley. And Tim, again, it was a question of those Florida special teams making a big play early in the ball game. And when you make mistakes like that against these guys, they can be fatal.
Yeah, and emotionally, it's been a tough string for LSU, and they had a hard time getting started. But I think the defense is back awake. They found out Melvin Hill can play a little bit, and Jamie Howard has been throwing the ball well.
Melvin Hill went all the way in the first quarter, and Jamie Howard in the second quarter. Florida led 7-0 when the block punt took place. Sam McCorkle got it at the 5:40 mark of the first quarter, and then it took the Gators only 50 seconds after that to punch the ball into the end zone. Only a couple of plays that covered 11 yards, and it was Terry Dean looking for Jack Jackson.
Just a little one-on-one on the outside here. It's Jack Jackson against Gary Pegues, and that's a matchup that Florida wants.
Extra point failed. It was 13-0 Gators. And then driving the ball down the field, but it was overthrown by Hill. And Anthone Lott would go 88 yards, the third longest Florida interception return for a touchdown ever.
You know, and LSU has seen enough of this kind of thing for the decade. And unfortunately, it happens again here in the Swamp. But, they then reorganized, I thought, and kind of fought back.
And then the teams kind of traded some field goals, and Florida got another score as Terry Dean ran one in late in the second quarter, and they lead 29-3 at the half. Their only real mistakes today have been a couple of point-afters that were messed up. Our forward halftime stats show that Florida dominates on the ground, not the domination through the air you might expect. And penalties have been a factor, but Florida has more time of possession over their opponent today than they normally do.
Exactly. From the defensive coach's standpoint, they're critical of the offense because it scores too fast. We need to rest our guys more.
Well, the rain has stopped for the most part. Maybe we have a stat on precipitation as well, as LSU has come into the den of the Gators and trails big time at the half.
Local True Value features professionals who can help solve your problems. Unlike those huge hardware warehouses where you sometimes find a less experienced staff. For a limited time, when you buy Easy Care paint from True Test, we'll give you a free True Test trim brush or roller cover when you bring in your old brush or roller. True Value. Help is just around the corner.
In volleyball, you're always learning to be more patient, work as a team. I've also learned I have something to give. Spending time as a big sister to Hillary, playing a positive role in her life is important to me. With United Way support, I can be there to show her I care and help set up a better future for her.
The SEC and United Way teaming up to make a difference.
When my doctor said to start exercise, I knew I wasn't 25 anymore. But that's when I called Bill, my nationwide insurance agent.
Jim had some questions, so we did a nationwide care review. We talked about his financial plan, life insurance, disability coverage, even retirement.
Yeah, we covered everything.
It turns out Jim was okay just the way he was.
Insurance-wise, right?
Right.
The care review from Nationwide, because things change.
I got a bigger taste. Out here we've learned something about food. Slow roasting beats fast cooking. Arby's slow roasts our beef 3 hours. It's taking the extra time that makes it real good. Yippee-yay, yippee-yi. Look for the hat in the western sky. Arby's, it's better out here.
Jefferson Pilot Sports exclusive coverage of the Lee Apparel SEC Game of the Week is brought to you by
Lee Apparel, maker of regular, relaxed, and easy-fit jeans and casual pants. Lee is the brand that fits. By your local Mazda dealers. By Nationwide Insurance. Check the yellow pages for the Nationwide agent nearest you. By Burger King, home of Whopper values. Get your burger's worth at Burger King. And by your Southeast Mercury dealers, who invite you to take a good look at a whole new mystique about the South. The new Mercury Mystique, on sale now.
Welcome back to the swamp. It certainly appears to be just that, as the rain has pretty much stopped, and the field will be a little wet, but they know how to drain things down here. And the Gators lead it 29-3 as we head on to the second half of play. Bob Carpenter with Tim Foley, and we'll give Bob Kessling a much-deserved breather down there, as the Gators will kick it off to the Tigers, who will move from left to right here in the third quarter. And move is the key word. They've got to do some things to move the football down the field and possibly get it into the end zone fairly quickly. Eddie Kennison is their dangerous receiver, stationed at his 2-yard line. Shane Edge, the punter from Florida, also handles the kickoffs.
And he has displayed his ability as a tackler today also, you know, so.
Yeah, we don't know about his passing, but he's tackled pretty well. At the 3, Kennison cuts to the near side, up the middle, and he'll get about 20 yards on the return. Florida's got very good special teams. We've seen that the last couple of weeks. And Jamie Howard is back out there.
And I think that everybody would hope good things will happen for Jamie Howard. You know, even Gator fans could throw in their best wishes for a couple of completions for this young man.
Jamie 6 of 11 for 45 yards in the first half, and more specifically in the second quarter. Here's Hildeman in motion to the near side, into the belly of Jermaine Sharp. He's got to turn outside, and he will have a first down.
Good block by Brett Besh. There's a flag down out there.
We have a 5-yard face mask against the defense. Tacked on the end of the run. First down.
That'll certainly make it a first down.
Let's see if we can see the tail end of this. Again, we talk about the inadvertent face mask. It's right on the tail end of the play. You can always see that hand go up across the face. Anytime the hand is on the face mask, whether it's used for a tackle or not, it's a 5-yard penalty. When you use it for the penalty, when you use it to tackle him, it's the big one, 15.
Jermaine Sharp averaging 4 yards per carry on the pitch. Sutter step back. Gain of about 4 yards on that play. Jermaine is the first Tiger since Harvey Williams to have multiple 100-yard rushing days. Had 130 last week against South Carolina. Earlier this year against Mississippi State, had 23 carries for 129 yards and a touchdown.
What's interesting, as I watch this LSU offense come out to start this half, obviously they've said, hey, we're going to stick with our game plan. We don't think we're out of this football game. We came in here planning to run, use the pass, mix it up, and that's what they're doing as they start the second half.
Gain of 4, 2nd and 6, ball on the 44 of LSU. Gators showing a little something, so Howard checks off. Showing the blitz again. I think somebody jumped off sides for Florida. There was a lot of motion up there, blue jerseys.
I thought that was pass interference, to be honest with you, down here. There is a flag along the line of scrimmage. Howard late getting up, bounces up now, and kind of signals over, I'm okay. This was going to be a go pattern. Howard waited till the last second to call it. He saw the blitz by the linebacker and see if someone jumped into the
offside, defense, 5-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Now watch again, see if someone gets into the neutral zone here. See at the top of your screen, right there, someone jumps it. Now there's Kennison. Watch Kennison pick up this blitz. He's face to face with him. Well, he says, I'm going to go low if I'm going to block him. He's got thin legs.
but they are speedy legs. Eddie Kinnison and Jermaine Sharp. So it turns it into a 2nd and 1 situation. Just a yard shy of Gator territory.
Here they come again.
Now they're moving back Bobby Pruitt's defensive unit. Well, credit that tackle to number 74 of LSU, Sean Wells, the offensive tackle, because that's who Jermaine Sharp ran into.
Yeah, but right on the other side was Mark Campbell, number 67, who had escorted him in the backfield. Watch the top of your screen. Look at Campbell drive the tackle back in. Bam! Campbell says, I just kind of used someone. Watch Campbell get up. Don't you love these big linemen? Look at that. High stepping, gator, little gator swap there. I guess that's what you call that, the gator mouth.
Campbell, the big guy, he's from Miami, so he knows how to celebrate. He did it in high school down there. But decided he'd go away from Dennis Erickson and come here to play for Steve Spurrier. Outside, Sharp gets the first down.
Boy, Sharp's got speed to the corner. He just outraces him there.
I'll tell you a guy we haven't talked about a lot today is number 11 in the blue jersey, Ben Hanks, the first number 11 to wear that jersey since Steve Spurrier. And Ben was outrun on the corner there. That nickelbacker has not been as effective today as he has been in this new scheme of Bobby Pruitt in the past couple of weeks.
Exactly right. He's number 11. He plays an outside backer spot, but he comes up on the line of scrimmage, gets a lot of rushes. He's all over the field. He's not big. 6'2", 224. Not big for a lineman, but he's got great speed along the line.
Number 1 with 35 tackles, 9 big plays so far this year. Ben Hanks from Miami. Howard to the air, overthrows Shedrick Wilson on the coverage. The converted wide receiver, Shea Showers, and he went flying into LSU territory.
I thought for a minute there that Wells was hurt 74. He got up kind of slow.
Watch the man we were talking about, number 11, Ben Hanks.
He's at the bottom of your screen, blitzing. Got to go around here, got to get up. See, he blitzes sometimes. Sometimes he drops back into pass pattern. He's got to take the run. It's got to be that multiple back. Kind of reminds you of the old days of Bob Matheson at Miami when they did that 53 defense and used him for all different ways.
Howard complete. He's short of the first down. And the receiver was Eric Smith to split in. A gain of about 7 on the play.
Big down here for LSU. Keep this drive alive. You love to come out. If you're an offensive coach or an offensive team, you love to come out, get the ball in the second half, drive down and get points. It gives your confidence, gives your offense great confidence, and plus it gives your quarterback great confidence.
LSU has lost 6 straight football games to the Gators. This is a good series, though, dating back to 1937. Pressure, and the Gators defense gets the sack. Johnny Church is getting playing time because of the injury to Henry McMillan, and he's taking advantage of his minutes.
Oh, he is. You see him give a little Gator salute there. They're just bursting up through the middle. He's number 40. This is Twist up in the middle. You try to get those linemen. There's big burst through the middle. That's David Barnard. He bursts through, and there's comes Church in there.
Jamie Howard walking off rather slowly, limping off the football field, being attended to by the LSU medical staff. We should mention defensively, as there is a Gator down on the field, Henry McMillan, the senior, who got his knee hurt last week here on Prime against Ole Miss, is out about 4 weeks. He's the right tackle. And Dexter Daniels, the inside linebacker, not playing today either with the banged up shoulder. So Bobby Pruitt's a little concerned about the depth on the defensive side of the football. And when there's a Gator laying on the ground here, that worries the coach a little bit more.
Well, that man laying on the field is about 20 yards from the line of scrimmage. That's someone who evidently got twisted up. I see a 2 there.
Yeah, it could be Shea Showers, the cornerback, I believe it is. Yeah, Shea Showers down in pain. Good thing we saw them take off the helmet, so they're not worried about a neck or a back injury, obviously, and he's going to get up right now.
Yeah, he's about 20 yards down on the corner. He's in cornerback position down about the 20-yard line.
Converted wide receiver. Now playing on the defensive side of the football.
We may see this just a lot of times. Cornerbacks will just get their legs kind of twisted up as they turn and make the pivot. And I believe that's what he does right here. Let's see if he doesn't do that. See, his feet get tangled up in there. Oh yeah, there's a little slip and he comes down. You see the stretch. See that right leg, the stretch there? That's what happened to him.
That hurts.
It does.
Bobby Pruitt, though, what a masterful job he has done with the defense. He is the first-year defensive coordinator of the Florida Gators as Shea Showers continues to get attended to. Changed the scheme a little bit this year. Went to the 4-4-3 from the 4-3-4.
I'll tell you one thing. He brought a lot of humor to the defensive. You know that now there he's walking. I thought it could have been the right leg, but look at the left arm, the shoulder area. They're holding his left arm up. We may have to go back and look at that. And let's watch his left arm. See if he doesn't put it down to break his fall. There. Yep. That looks like a hyperextension in the elbow. We had one of them about 2 weeks ago, I think.
Dislocated elbow it was, wasn't it?
Yeah. That's definitely hyperextended.
I believe that young man was done for the day, and that may be the case with Shea Showers, too. Bobby Pruitt, you talk about the humor he's been bringing to the football game.
Oh, he's amazing. I'll tell you, he said, boy, no, now we can play like we used to play, Dave, you and I, if we played in the phone booth, but unfortunately now we're out on the field. We got to be able to run. He's just hilarious.
He said, put the ball down. Play in a parking lot, we'll play in the gravel. Put the ball down. Old-fashioned coach Bobby Pruitt. Palmer going to run away from the football. The kick will go into the end zone. It will be a touchback, and Florida will start offensively on the 20-yard line. We'll take a break here on Prime. 11:09 remaining in the third. The Gators are in command.
Chevy owners demand a lot from their trucks.
Like a rock, I was strong as I could be. Like a rock, nothing ever got to me.
But even after years of hard work, Chevys still have the highest owner satisfaction of any full-size pickup.
Like a rock.
Chevy, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road.
Like a rock.
An ordinary beer can, barely alive.
Gentlemen, we can rebuild it. We have the technology. We have the capability to make the world's first bionic can. Coors Light will be that can. Better than it was before. Taller, thinner, silver. Next on the Coors Light Channel.
Some things you just shouldn't do when you're past 40.
Says who? Today, 40 and over is a time to enjoy the best life has to offer. You can with Prevention Magazine. Only prevention shows you how to look and feel younger, not by working harder, but by living smarter. Like how to lose your belly and still eat the foods you love, and treat minor ailments at home with doctor-approved remedies. Call now for your risk-free trial issue and get 101 Age Remedies, Prevention's guide to reversing the aging process. Let Prevention give you all the facts and encouragement you need to achieve your goals, to help you walk away from back pain, pick foods with no fat, and soften dry skin naturally. Call now for 12 monthly issues, just $15.97 plus $1.97 delivery, and get this second book, No Diet, No Willpower Weight Loss System. Both bonus books are free with your paid subscription. All are backed by our 100% money-back guarantee. You can't change how old you are, but you can change how young you feel. Start now with Prevention Magazine.
Florida go on the offensive, 29-3 they lead. That lead should be safe considering the Gator defense is yet to be scored upon in the second half.
Absolutely.
Sun breaking through a little today. Should be doing it. Gain of 1, maybe 2 at the best. Remember, Prime fans, in November, the world's greatest golfers tee off on Prime. Winners of Grand Slam and championship tournaments from the past 2 years compete for the ultimate title in the Gene Sarazen World Open Championship. Live from Chateau Elan, Georgia, November 4th through 6th on most Prime affiliates. They will call it a gain of 2. Ball carried for Florida was Elijah Williams. Don't dump off to Jack Jackson. He's hit immediately by Rodney Young.
I was taking a little lesson from Showers on that play. Bursting up there. Burst up as soon as he catches that ball. Close that cushion. The cushion is the distance between the receiver and the defensive back. About 5 yards. Now look, you see it? You come up there, square up. That's just great play. That's the way it's coached. Good square base. Keep up. Keep your head up. Look him right in the chest. Tackle him.
Jackson being kept pretty much in check today. Last week he had just 6 receptions, but 120 yards. So good job being done thus far by the defense of LSU, as they are going to keep the Gators on a 3rd and 5 short of the first down. And we may finally get into double digits on the season for punts for the Florida Gators. I believe they came into today only punting on 8 occasions. Nate Miller making the play, the big guy over 300 pounds on the line for LSU.
Well, this is good play by Miller down the line. You don't want your defensive tackle cut off. And that's a cutoff block he played across the face of number 51, rode the line, made the big tackle.
Shane Edge, the punter. Back deep, the ever so dangerous Eddie Kennison, number 2 of LSU. He might get a chance to return one finally. Eddie Kennison pointing at his blockers, trying to get to the outside. And he is hit late, and the flag goes down. He was hit late by number 24, Fred Wary. Carter forced him to the sideline, and then Wary hit him after he had already stepped over the inline.
Now, you don't want to fight if you're a college player. A lot of coaches have practiced this. Don't fight, because if you fight in the second half, you get thrown out of this half plus the next game. That could be a costly play. You see how quickly everybody grabs them and throws them back, says, hey, don't fight, don't fight. Good block by Edge. I mean, good punt by Edge. Now watch Edge. He's going to get over there. He's going to be part of the tackle. Talk about lining them up now. Watch this hit out of bounds right here.
Personal foul on the blue. First down.
Again, there's the contact out of bounds. That's a tough thing. I mean, now, you know, a lot of people say you hear boos and all that, but you don't want to take the aggressiveness away from a person like Wary. You don't want to say to him, hey, don't try to hit him, because he's running full out, concentrating on the return man. And it's just hard to look up and see exactly where the sideline is. Of course, that's coming from an old defensive player.
Obviously. 29-3, ball spotted on the 31-yard line. See if LSU tries to go right to the air. Nope, to the ground, Jermaine Sharp. And he gets maybe 2. And it's interesting that he rushes for about 2 yards, because so far today, LSU, average yard per carry, 2.2. as opposed to Florida, who's averaging close to 7 yards per rush.
Well, when you look at this game and you try to analyze a football team, you look for several things on defense. First of all, are the players getting knocked down? And you don't see any blue shirts on the ground. They're nimble, they're quick, they can run. You've got to have speed to play this game today. And they slide along the game. Now, what the official's doing right now is he's saying, listen, they're warning the players, I don't want any mouthing, I don't want any fighting, and I'm going to throw you out. See, they're starting to, now the game's getting a little bit into the mouthing stage.
Yeah, I think Chris Hill and Ben Hanks had a little conversation a moment ago.
Yeah, now watch Hanks in here in LaFleur.
Hanks and Hill.
Yeah, Hill. Now, see, they're talking, they're pushing each other back and forth.
Hey, official says, players, you can't talk anymore. Gators fans are going to make the noise for them. 2nd and 6 on the 27.
Oh, you ain't going to try to call an audible now. You can't do that.
Timeout, LSU. Took something to get those Gator fans off those wet seats. We'll take a timeout. 8:22 remaining in the 3rd. We are live on Prime.
It's in your hands. It's in your hands. Oh, anything worth doing, it's in your hands. And Gojo takes care of your hands.
Gojo hand cleaners take care of your 2 most important tools, your hands.
Gojo takes care of your hands.
You're watching NCAA college football on Prime.
You know, nothing breaks my heart more than seeing young kids who need good medical care but can't afford it. That's why I want to tell you about the Shriners Hospitals for Crippled Children. If you know a child with problems of the bones, joints, or muscles, call toll-free for information.
Hi, everybody. I'm Fred McLeod. Join Mike O'Hara, Kurt Sylvester, and me every Monday night at 7 o'clock for Lions Monday Night Magazine, as we'll be taking your phone calls and also be hearing from Lions players.
Scott just threw a beautiful pass out, and I was able to catch it. And I mean, it's just the type of risk you have to take if you're going to move on to the next level.
There's all this debate between who's better, Emmitt Smith or Barry Sanders. Who's the better player, Barry or Emmitt?
Well, I think Barry is because of some of the things Barry does.
I know when I walk in the defensive huddle, I have to look at every guy's eye and see, you know, that guy is ready. You know, he just has fire in his heart and he's ready to go.
Over the 5 years I've been here in Detroit, we pride ourselves on special teams.
You may have had a personal foul, and I just wanted to ask you about that.
Which personal foul was that?
Lions Monday Night Magazine live here, the only full show devoted to Lions football on Passports, your source for Michigan sports.
Second and 6 on the 27. First down and more for Jermaine Sharp. That play on the left side, that little sweep running play has worked very effectively today.
It certainly has. It's been very successful. It's been about the only running play that really has worked. That was the play that Howard should have run the last time and saved that timeout. You get to the corner, you let Sharp use that speed. Outside right there, you lock up. They're locked up on their defensive players, and the result is a first down.
13-yard gain for Jermaine Sharp. They'll mark the football at the 14-yard line of the Gators. First and 10. Sharp impressive today. Almost 4 yards per carry.
And boy, does it get tough in the end zones.
Sharp. Chased down. What a defensive play by Lawrence Wright.
I thought I saw a flag again. It might have been another face mask.
Lawrence, the sophomore from Miami, hauled down number 1 Jermaine Sharp. Will wait for the call.
And I see Ben Hanks there saying, wait a minute, I didn't have my hand on his face mask. Watch the tail end of this play. This is Sharp coming around the outside. Watch the hand up on the face mask. Doesn't have to be used as a tackle, just gets the hand right there. That's the call.
Good call. Good officials is assigned by the SEC today.
You know, usually you find out officials are the most rabid fans of football. They love football. And they just eat, sleep, and drink football, and that's why they're out there officiating.
Last year against LSU, Lawrence Wright had 8 tackles and an interception.
15-yard face mask penalty against the defense. Half the distance to go, and automatic first down.
Guess the officials felt that was not supposed to happen. Florida Gators have not allowed any points in the second half this season. We mentioned it at the top of the show. Mention it again right now because I'll tell you what, we are in a first and goal situation. 7-yard line. And look at the goose eggs on the right side of the column.
And listen to these fans.
Oh, Jamie, tough to audible. Looking for Kennison. Flag on the play. Defended tightly by Lawrence Wright and also Antone Lott. Eddie Kennison with the reception, and I believe the way he's reacting, the flag's going to go against the Gators.
Yeah, when I looked at Wright just walked away, just stomped away. He was upset and mad. Boy, Howard had one person that he was going to tackle, that he was going to throw this ball to. Look at him all the way. He's getting kind of comfortable over there throwing that ball.
I'm wondering, we were in Auburn earlier this football season, and it was certainly loud down at Jordan-Hare Stadium. Louder in the swamp or louder in Jordan-Hare? I don't know. I'm asking you.
We need a loud meter. This is incredible how loud it is. And when you get down into the end zone, you've got not 5 yards behind the back of the end zone. You've got that starts up that huge crowd.
Defense, first down on the 2-yard line.
So there it is. Pass interference called on the defensive unit. First and goal from the 2.
Now, the smartest thing Jamie Howard can do is not try to call an audible. Because look at those people in the end zone there. They're all going to be screaming right in his face.
Antone Lott flagged a moment ago.
He can't even get him to come back and huddle up. Look at him. Come on back. Huddle up. wonder they get loud. They have that sign there, "Get loud, Gators."
They're rocking the swamp in Gainesville. First and goal from the 2. Defense wants to keep that second half goose egg, Dave. Jermaine Sharp, touchdown LSU, untouched into the end zone.
Boy, that was a tremendous cut by Sharp. The point of attack wasn't there. But when he runs back and he cuts back against the grain. Now watch this, we may be able to stop this, but watch the hole that develops to the left side. The point of attack is over to the right. Now, cut right there. Look at the hole that he sees back there, and he basically goes in untouched.
And LSU can cut into the Gators' lead by 1 more point with the point after. Andre LaFleur, it is good. An impressive drive put together by the Tigers, and a good day again for Jermaine Sharp, looking for his second straight 100-yard performance. He's got some work to do, but certainly he has been the workhorse today for the Tigers.
Boy, this is just a great cut. This is what you want your running back to have. You want him to have vision into the hole. When he takes that ball, he has to see where the hole develops. If it's not there, he's got to find the seam to the backside, and that's what he did.
You know, not only is it this year that the Florida Gators defense has thrown goose eggs down in the second half, you go all the way back to last year, right here at the Swamp, game 11 of the football season, the Florida State Seminoles, when they were victorious over the Gators here in Gainesville, Florida State going on to win the national title. That is the last football team in game 11 of last year to score in the second half against Florida. Which means no touchdown by Alabama in the SEC championship game at the Georgia Dome, nor by the Mountaineers of West Virginia in the Sugar Bowl. That game was a blowout anyway, 41-7, the Gators winning over the Mountaineers in New Orleans.
Well, and all of a sudden you've got a game back in this football game, because now all of a sudden it's 29-10. You're down 19 points. The 2-point play really plays a big factor. All depends if the defense can hold.
The sun's out in the Swamp, Dave. Once again, should be duly noted. 84,000 strong here in Gainesville. That's Riedel Anthony. Riedel's got some room. Breaks the tackle. Riedel Anthony up near the 40-yard line. Good return of nearly 30 yards.
Boy, just when you think you've got momentum back, all of a sudden out come the Gators and they break something big. They've got so many weapons.
Well, it should be noted as you see Riedel Anthony with a fine return here, Dave, that it's somewhat tough to play with a big lead, isn't it?
Oh, it certainly is. You don't want to change your offensive game plan, but you have a tendency to, because you don't want to, again, run up the score.
And we saw what happened last week. Florida was up big on Ole Miss, 14-0. Ole Miss tied it at 14 apiece, and then the Gators took over. Terry Dean right to the air, Spurrier style, as Ike Hilliard unable to come down with the reception. Interesting potential matchup. Ike Hilliard's big brother, Ivory Hilliard, is a defensive back for LSU. That's a freshman, number 19. See if brother meets brother in the defensive backfield of the Tigers.
Well, I think that time Ivory Hilliard said, hey, you're in my area, the middle.
Big brother been picking on little brother all their lives, I'm sure.
Didn't you love it? Ivory Hilliard says he ain't beaten me at anything all his life.
There's Ivory Hilliard. Both those guys, cousins of the great Dalton Hilliard, the all-time leading rusher at LSU. And there's the matchup on the far side of the field. Big brother against little brother. Ike and Ivory Hilliard. And they go to the youngster. And big brother not able to come there. Rodney Young makes the tackle. And Steve Spurrier kept his word as Ike and Ivory tried to hook up. Rodney Young made the tackle.
Look at Ivory. Don't be coming in my area. This is my territory. Then he turns to the official and says, hey, that's my little brother. I'm allowed to say something. Here's the matchup. There's number 3. Now watch him come up there.
And then Rodney Young comes in and makes the defensive play. Should mention Shea Showers out for the rest of the afternoon with a dislocated left shoulder. Gain of 3. This is a 3rd and 7 on the 41-yard line for the Gators. Complete. Jackson. First down and more. Gabe Northern finally brought him down in LSU territory. He says he has the football. Officials disagree. They'll give a first down and a big gain to Jack Jackson.
Oh, I looked at Pat Rogers, number 82 that time. I thought he had an interception and would have gone all the way. That was incredible on that catch. Maybe we'll see number 82 come in the picture here. There he is, 82, look. I've got it. No, I don't.
Rodney Young thought he had it too because he looked back at his teammate for a second, and Jackson continued in as Gabe Northern retreated to make the tackle, but not until a good gain on a 3rd and 7 for Jack Jackson. Dean to work again, going up top. Riedel Anthony, Torrey James, neither comes away with the football.
Oh, that almost looks like offensive interference on that. James had the great position and the defender to come over top of his back and keep him from catching it. Good play by the defender.
You know what's scary? When you talk about the Florida Gators, you look at a youngster like Riedel Anthony. 62% of this team, which has a legitimate chance of winning the national championship, are underclassmen. Terry Dean, not one of those gentlemen. His numbers on the day: 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 16 of 29 for 148 yards. 5:44 remaining in the 3rd.
LSU shows blitz. Now Dean goes to the audible.
Good protection. Wide open receiver, Ike Hilliard. Ike hit at about the 34-yard line. Gain of 13 yards on the play.
Boy, the confidence that Dean has, Jamie Howard wishes he had. Watch Dean in the pocket. Look at those big men. Everybody is picked up. Late pressure around the backside, but look at the confidence he has to stand in that pocket. Just keep on waiting.
A very mature offensive line, and Steve Spurrier said to us yesterday, Dave, that you have your big years when your line is mature. Reggie Green, Jason Odom, 3rd-year starters. Dean Golden, David Swain, 5th-year seniors. Donnie Young, 2nd-year starter. Movement and flags. Free play for Florida. Jackson. That pass was thrown behind Jack Jackson by Terry Dean.
Well, that's a heads-up play by Dean because he drew him off sides with the voice inflection, then said, hey, I got a free down. Even if I throw an interception, we're going to bring this football back, and we've got it on offense. That's a heads-up. That's a wise play. Now, the question was were they drawn off sides? That's the discussion.
Yeah, illegal motions against the offside. Offside against the defense. Penalties offside.
Well, he drew both sides off. He drew his own team off. The illegal motion, drew the defense off with the voice inflection.
I'll tell you, it's not surprising the Gators going right back to the air, though. They've aired it out under Steve Spurrier, led the SEC in air mileage the last 4 years. In '93, his team threw for over 4,000 yards. An SEC record, 339 per game. So they'll work at 1st and 10, ball on the 35, and now that I've talked about their great air attack, they'll probably hand it off to Fred Taylor. Audible blitz was coming, recognized well by Terry Dean. Number 44, Kamoja Brooks, was right inside and in the lap of the quarterback.
Well, Mike, you know, we've talked a lot about Steve Spurrier and the Heisman. He won the Heisman Trophy my senior year. I played in a lot of bowl games. It was, you know who the other quarterback was that year? Little guy that played down at Miami down here and played pro football. What's his name? Greasy, wasn't it?
Bob Greasy. And ironically, the Heisman Trophy winner wasn't the first quarterback taken in 1967. It was Greasy out of Purdue, right?
Exactly.
I only knew that because you told me that at dinner last night.
Well,
I was only about 3 years old then.
Well, he was a great talent in college. Oh, boy, he was a great talent.
Dean. Jackson has room. And one man to beat. Can't keep inbounds. Had to cut back on Ivory Hilliard still. First down, Florida Gators, gain of 27 for Jack Jackson.
And I'll tell you, when you go to Jackson on this corner route, he makes the defensive player give so much ground. Watch, there he is, number 1. Now plan inside, go corner, and you don't even see the defensive player in the coverage. That's the separation that he gets because you have got to stay back on him. He's got such outstanding speed. This is the same play we saw last week 2 or 3 times into the end zone that he scored with.
1st and goal, Gators on the 7-yard line. Up the middle, Fred Taylor hauled down at the 2 by Alan Stansberry. Taylor already with 1 rushing touchdown today.
And you have to give a lot of credit to this Gator offense. They came in, LSU had a very impressive drive, drove the length of the field, and this is the way they've responded. Like a machine, just driving the football down. Good play selection, protecting the football, safe passes. They don't make mistakes. That's why they're the #1 team in the nation.
Dogs all over Clemson, 40-7. We'll see them next week. Fred Taylor, touchdown, Florida. Second touchdown of the day for the true freshman, Fred Taylor. And again, that experienced line opening the big-time hole.
Oh, watch this big hole in here. You see 74, that's Jason Oldham. He's about 2 yards off. Look at that. I could run through that thing.
That's a big hole.
That's a big hole. Boy, what a block by Oldham down there. 74, he just controlled his man. Had him about 3 yards off the line of scrimmage.
Judd Davis with the point after. Judd still perfect in his career. Fred Taylor, Parade All-American, runner-up for Mr. Football in the state of Florida. Prep rushing over 1,500 yards, 20 touchdowns his senior year. He has 2 today.
So what will be there? Where's the new president gonna sit? I hear the new president. Times are tough.
Who's picking up the new president?
Peterson.
What does he drive?
I don't know. Ask Harry.
I hope it's clean. Harry, what does Peterson drive?
Volkswagen.
What?
No,
Volkswagen.
Is Peterson picking the president up in a Volkswagen?
We'll be back at the office in about 45 minutes.
New?
New. No, I've been with the firm for 5 years.
Congratulations, but I meant the car.
The car? Yes, new.
What kind is it?
It's a Passat.
A what?
A Volkswagen Passat.
Pull over.
Is there a problem, Miss Sullivan?
No, an opportunity.
With ABS, traction control, and a high-performance VR6 engine.
But the office is straight ahead.
Oh, we can be a little late.
The new German-engineered Passat will change what you expect from a Volkswagen.
You know, if you're tired, Miss Sullivan, I'll drive for a while.
Excuse me, Shuddy.
In the NFL, there's only one sports drink, and it's gotta be Gatorade.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
Yeah, thanks. That's fine. I gotta go. Yeah, it comes in emerald green.
For even more information about the new Passat VR6, call 1-800-DRIVE-VW.
There's a bright young star in college football, Freddie Taylor. 20th time in Spurrier's 27 games at home as coach. The Gators have scored more than 30 points. 4:20 remains. They lead 36-10. And you talk about spreading the wealth today. Terry Dean has done a great job of using multiple receivers. Shane Edge to kick it off. Eddie Kennison arguing over the football with a teammate. Kennison brought down at about the 24-yard line. Return of about 10-12 yards on the play. Shane Edge doing a good job, getting a lot of work. He kicks off a lot more than he punts, doesn't he?
Yes, sir. Watch this little fight right here. You got to call that ball out right there because you lose about 5 yards on that play when you don't catch it clean.
So LSU trying to keep this at least a football game. They start on their own 24-yard line and they trail by 26. Pitch back to Robert Toomer. Toomer's going nowhere. The reports we get from the field are that Jermaine Sharp got himself a little bit tangled. May have hurt, I believe, his shoulder. So that's why we see Robert Toomer at the tailback position for the LSU Tigers.
Yeah, and a different type of runner. Sharp had that great speed to the outside corner. We see him standing there. But he had the outside speed to the corner Toomer's a little bit more of a finesse guy and a little bit stronger guy, so he's going to need that head down type of a running play.
Yeah, Toomer's 218 pounds and Sharp's just 192, Dave, so it just solidifies your point. Lots of one for Robert Toomer, 2nd and 11 on the 24. Power to the flat. Shedrick Wilson with the reception, hit immediately by number 3, Larry Kennedy. While we have a moment, we'd like to thank our friends at Jefferson Pilot Communications in Charlotte, North Carolina for help once again with the transmission of our college football game of the week on Prime.
Well, while we watch that rebound, I want to thank somebody too, and that's the outstanding crew that we have in our truck, giving us just the best pictures that you could ask for. When you get a guy 20 yards downfield dislocating and hyperextending his elbow, and it's not even a part of the play, that's when you know your crew's right on the target.
3rd and 8 on the 27. Howard up top overthrows his receivers, both whom which were very well covered.
Yeah, that's the one we want to just hope that the wind or the rain holds it up, because that ball was about 10 yards over. But look how quickly this defense comes off. A lot of replacements on the defense, but how quickly they keep that same tempo. They're in 3 outs. Give it back to the offense. No wonder Florida scores so much. They got the ball so many times.
Well, you can give a little credit to your defense, as you mentioned too, Dave, because they get that football back to the offensive unit. And that's what Bobby Pruitt said your job is. If our offense scores 14 points or 47 or 77, it's our job to just get them the football back as soon as possible. Kessler with the kick. Sorolla Palmer back. Fair catch at the 37-yard line. Next week on Prime, our SEC battles continue. Live, our game of the week from Athens, Georgia. You'll get your first look at Heisman hopeful Eric Zier here on Prime. The Bulldogs and Vanderbilt Commodores step between the hedges. That's next Saturday at 12:30 Eastern on most Prime affiliates. I mentioned earlier Terry Dean doing a good job of spreading the wealth today. Dave, take a look at this. Jack Jackson, the major recipient of Dean's work.
Well, very few teams have the depth that he has. Look at that, Jack Jackson. Career high 10 receptions. But you've got 2, 4, 6 people catching the football. It's tremendous.
We went through that 2, 4, 6 very quickly, as a Penn State grad would do, right?
Well, I thank you.
They give up the middle. Mike Goldberg, Dave Rowe, 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Our venue is Gainesville, Florida. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at Florida Field. And I'll tell you what, the Gators are the #1 team in the nation and one of the best college football programs in the 90s because they've got great advantages, Dave. The largest university in Florida, the largest university in the SEC, and so much homegrown talent. 2nd and 10. Flea flicker. Dean. Now checking for a secondary receiver. He's in trouble. Gets rid of the football wisely.
Boy, did Dean take a hit that time. This is flea flicker where they give it to the back. He runs up, and that tries to draw the defensive backs. Look at Dean. He gets up smiling. He took quite a shot that time. But watch the offensive line get a good block here. But see, it's a running play now, right? You give it to him now. He hands it right back to the quarterback. Now he flashes back, looks downfield. Everybody's covered. But look at the time he has. But watch the tail end of this. When he runs, boy, he got a shot. There's 2 men from there and 1 from there. Bam!
3rd and 10. Dean wants a timeout.
They're switching a lot of personnel right now. A lot of times you have confusion in there.
Remember week 1 of college football on Prime. It was September 3rd, 1994. We were in Oxford, Mississippi as the nation's longest winning streak grew to 14 with this 6-yard scamper by Stephen Davis. Auburn 22, Ole Miss 17. Davis rushed for over 150 yards on the day. Our score in week 6, 36-10. The top-ranked Florida Gators making their second appearance of the season live on Prime. It's interesting to note they began the year as the #1 team in the nation. Only 5 teams have started the year and finished the year #1. Tennessee, Michigan State, Oklahoma 4 times, Alabama in '78, and the Florida State Seminoles last year.
That's a tough thing to do because every team aims for you. It's the highlight of every team. There's no problem. Curly Hallman had no problem getting his players up for this game. You've got a chance to play the #1 team. You've got a chance to knock them off. Everybody will play above just above their normal level to get a chance to play Florida Gators.
3rd and 10, ball on the 38. Dean under pressure again, still on his feet. Well, there's the athleticism that Steve Spurrier talked about, but the sack comes nonetheless. Good pressure by the LSU defense. Big 93 Miller in on the play. That's Robert Miller.
Boy, you talk about what if they hadn't gotten to him. When Dean escaped that first time and he came up, you had to realize all those wide receivers were running one-on-one. If he had been able to come up and look downfield, that's when he's the best.
Finally a little quiet here.
Yeah, I noticed that. That must be because Florida has the ball.
Block punt. Special teams for LSU comes up with the play. And they'll have good field position due to the block of the punt. Shane Edge does not get much pressure on him very often, but indeed the block there of the Shane Edge punt, and LSU will go back to the offense on the 47-yard line.
Yeah, that wasn't really the conventional block. It's going to be from the right side. Watch, just a hand up. Now Shane Edge actually goes to the right side to block. That's Pat Rogers, and the reason he's going to the right side, the reason he's not taking down the middle, they're trying to keep the football away from Eddie Kennison. Exactly, and Rogers was on the right side, just got that hand in the right place.
Big Pat Rogers, number 82. So indeed, 47-yard line, little play action. Howard to the big tight end, David LaFleur, inside Florida territory. Gain of about 7 yards on the play.
I'll tell you, that time I watched Kennison go down the field, he did a little stutter step and took off. Don't be surprised if they don't run that same play again. He was wide open down this side. Little fake play action to the strong side, come back, roll to the weak, and look at Kennison. If they break coverage again like that, he was absolutely wide open.
Kennison, #1 in the SEC, #2 in the nation. Punt returns 20.5 a game. That's why teams kick away from him. Well, that's a good sign for LSU fans. Jermaine Sharp back in the football game, and he gets the first down. Eddie Kennison, #2. He's just a sophomore from Lake Charles, Louisiana. Teams have been kicking away from him so often that coming into the day, he only had 5 kickoff returns.
Well, he's one of those speedsters and does a great job of setting up his blocks when he runs. He's got real wide vision. When he comes upfield, he just sets those blocks. And he's got that blazing speed. I'd like to see him more one-on-one. There you are.
That's the one I spoke of. First in the SEC, second in the nation. Eddie Kennison, an All-American in track, was on that national championship 4x100 relay team that LSU owned with a 38.91. Ran a 10.34 in the 100, 27.6 in the 200.
Not many people return punts for 100 yards.
Sun's back out there.
I see some shadows.
1st and 10, ball on the 42. Howard under pressure goes down. Ben Hanks will get credit for the sack.
Finally, the sun comes out. Now, this is the sun that you were talking about, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay. So we'll have a sunny 4th quarter.
Indeed, as the 3rd has come to an end. 36-10 our score. LSU in a big-time hole at the Swamp. Ben Hanks makes the defensive play. We'll take a timeout. It is week 6 continuing here on Prime.
We were going to a debate tournament when it happened.
4 hours from home. Thankfully, everyone was okay. We called AAA Claims and spoke with Susie Alrod. She couldn't find any rental vans, but said somehow she'd find us a vehicle to get us to the tournament. Boy, did she ever.
It was sweet.
Of all the reasons to have auto insurance with AAA, Susie Alrod is the best one.
Yeah! Auto insurance from AAA Michigan. Someone you can count on.
information on the opening weekend extravaganza and season tickets, call the Palace box office.
Lindsey Hunter sizing up Sabalos. Don Chaney near the midcourt line to watch. Time working down. It's down to the final second again. Dumars.
Whoa, boy.
114, 113. Isaiah looks like a little kid. He's leaping all over the place.
Unbelievable.
It's time to jam.
Can you dig it?
It's time to jam with college football. Pass Sports has over 50 college football games all season long. Pass Sports, the source for Michigan sports.
Travel provided by Continental, offering business first-class service at a business class fare.
Welcome back. Start of the fourth quarter, week 6 here on Prime. As we've advertised throughout the afternoon, next week we go to Athens, Georgia for the Bulldogs and the Commodores of Vanderbilt. But we concentrate on the top-ranked Gators now for 15 more minutes of football. LSU inside Florida territory, 2nd and 17 from the 49. Wide open over the middle, Todd Burks spins, and he's hit by Ben Hanks. He'll be short of the first down yardage, but a good play on 2nd and 17.
Sure was. Deep route with a crossing across the middle, and Howard really getting that good protection from his line. You know, like we've talked earlier about this, but what if? Boy, what if they'd been able to score when they got that field goal? What if they hadn't had that punt block? What if Jamie Howard had his confidence like he seems to have right now?
What if Howard started the football game? Yeah. That's got to be a question you ask yourself, too. And take nothing away from the true freshman. Melvin Hill did a good job. Just that one pass, the interception brought back for the touchdown. 6 of 9, 70 yards and an interception were the numbers for the youngster Melvin Hill. Getting loud at the swamp again. 3rd and 4. First down and more. That's Chris Hill. And he's in for the Tiger score. Well, you talk about Melvin, and big brother Chris gets the touchdown reception, 36 yards.
And he held on to it this time. But what a play by Hill. But really, let's give some credit to Jamie Howard. He saw the blitz, a clear blitz right up in his throat. It's going to come from the left of your screen, right down the throat, and he just launches it right away. Hill knows he's not covered, looks back for the football. Just perfect timing. That's the way that play is designed.
Chris Hill, his 2nd touchdown reception of the year, had a 22-yarder against Mississippi State. Tigers fans making the trip from Louisiana like what they see here. They're going to go for 2. 36-16 our score. Howard has room, and they convert the PAT. LSU showing some things offensively quite impressive.
The Gator fans don't like it. This is quarterback draw. Now what you do is you spread all the secondary out on your wide receivers, and then you just let your big offensive lineman turn the defensive lineman around. First of all, let's look at that touchdown again. Watch this blitz. Although, excuse me, this is the 2-point play. That's a good play. Just turn those big defensive linemen out, and he goes back in. But I really think the key is this play right here. Look how quickly Hill looks back, saying, "Wait a minute, I'm uncovered." That's what you're supposed to do. That's a receiver adjustment on the line of scrimmage.
If you're wondering, Dave, and I'm sure you are, the Florida State Seminoles did not score in the 4th quarter of that game, Game 11 last year. So the last time the Gators were scored upon in the 4th quarter, a touchdown, Southwest Louisiana, Game 8, November 6, 1993. Last time a touchdown has been scored in the 4th quarter. Watch now for a potential onside kick. I know there's 14:05 on the clock, but you do trail by 18 points.
Well, Florida's going into a spread receiving team here. They're thinking onside kick also. But I think in this situation, you want to kick it deep. Kick it deep, see if you can hold them back there and get good field position. See, if you kick onside in this situation, you don't get it. You give Florida Gators great field position.
I think Curley agrees with you. Jack Jackson, 6 yards deep. He'll stay there. Jackson wanted to come out. Anthony wouldn't let him. Look at Jack Jackson shaking his head going, Riedel, I had 20 yards to work with, buddy.
Look at his big smile. Saying, you were looking back at me. I was looking downfield.
I could have come out if you would have gotten out of my way. Jack Jackson, what a talent. And Steve Spurrier said candidly to us yesterday in the pregame meetings we have with the head coach that if Jackson decides to go pro and he can be a first-round pick, he certainly would tell Jack Jackson to go ahead and leave school after his junior year and take the opportunity in the NFL to set himself and his family up financially. So they'll start it from the 20. That's Freddie Taylor, and he's going to be brought down for a loss of 5. David Carmona was in on the play. William Crowell and Gabe Northern.
And now all of a sudden you see a lot of bounce in LSU. You see them getting into the huddle. You see them slapping each other around, doing those type of things when you've got that momentum and you feel that you've got momentum behind you. You kind of pump up the defense a lot. If you're in the offensive huddle of Florida, you're saying, hey, it's back to business. Stay calm. We know how to do this. We've been in this situation before. Drive the football, control it.
Loss of 5, 2nd and 15. Tackle, Taylor, up to the 25-yard line, a gain of 10 on the play. Brought down again by number 88, Gabe Northern. That young man is all over the place. Gabe from Baton Rouge, a junior.
Now watch this. He's on the top side of the play. Gets in now. He's trailing the play. Does he give up? There's no give up in him. Look at this. He's still running down. He's 10 yards downfield making a tackle.
Gabe Northern, it's funny, he said in 10 years he sees himself with a wife, kids, and a dog named Zulu. His mom wears a badge to every game, and she pins ribbons on it every time Gabe makes a big play. So, Mom, get that ribbon ready. Movement on the line, flags on the play. Complete to Anthony. Riedel breaks the tackle, loses the football. It could belong to the Tigers.
Oh, they jumped off sides. This is one of those turning plays. I think Calais got on top of the fumble there, and if they're off sides, that's going to negate the entire thing. It'll bring the ball back, give him a 5-yard mark off. Let's see what the call is. Was there motion in the backfield which drew him off? One of the linemen perhaps moved, or did the defense just jump into the neutral zone off sides on the voice inflection? Well, we're going to find out in a second here.
We have offside on the defense. The penalty is declined. First down.
So they say they never did get the football, Dave.
Oh, no, you see right there, the man jumped into the neutral zone. They automatically get that. Now let's see if we can see the fumble here and see if we see Calais jump on it. 56. He's got the ball.
They may have said the ground forced the fumble.
Well, no, the play.
Wouldn't make sense, though, yeah.
Well, the play is that LSU was offsides on the play, so that negates anything that happens. That gives the ball automatically back to Florida.
Yeah, let's see exactly. I think the officials are having that same discussion that we are, Dave. A little confusion right now.
Well, the question is, did he recover the fumble in bounds? If he did not recover the fumble in bounds, then Florida can take the ball out at the 48, 49-yard line.
Was Anthony out of bounds before he lost the football, maybe?
No,
there's the football. Absolutely.
Did he touch it while he was out of bounds? All right, now there's the recovery. No, the ball's still loose. Now he touches the ball. You see his right knee is out of bounds, and he makes contact with the ball. That's what Curly Holman's saying. He's saying, wait a minute.
Well, they're arguing not over the football right now. In the possession, they're arguing over the gain on the play because, if anything, Florida keeps the football. Argument lost, and they're going to tack some more yards on. I think some guys on LSU's sideline spoke a little bit too loudly.
Well, you see the coaches, they were pretty adamant about the play. But I think what they ruled is that the ball, it was a fumble, but it was not recovered in bounds. So that gave gave Florida the ball at about the 50-yard line. Then they tacked on the additional yardage.
All of a sudden, 39-yard line of LSU. Taylor bounces off one tackler, not the second, though. Another flag on the play. LSU, if nothing less, has really played spirited today. And you've got a football team who has been under hard luck most of the season. They've lost those 3 games by the combined 10 points. But Curly Hallman said that they came out on practice Tuesday and had that kind of quickness in their feet that he had not seen since the preseason. He was very pleased with the mental approach of his football team.
I got a personal foul against the defense, 15 yards, automatic first down.
but he can't be pleased with that kind of stuff.
No, that's not the way you play this football game. You see that LSU is disgruntled. They're upset. And you see Curly Holman call his defensive captain over there and say, listen, you need to go out there. You cannot lose your head in this game. You've got to keep control. 15 yards hurts you. You stop them on first down for no gain, but what you do is you end up giving them 15 yards.
Michigan, big-time lead in the fourth quarter over Michigan State, 40-13. And another conference between the players on each side. Again, the officials trying to keep control of the on-field action.
Yeah, this is just the official going around saying, guys, I'm not going to take personal fouls. I'm going to throw you out of the game if I see anybody take a cheap shot. Said, I don't want the mouthing back and forth. We're playing football out here. You're both playing two great football games. It's been a good game so far. Let's keep it that way.
The officials never had those kind of discussions with those old Oakland Raiders teams you played for, did they, Dave?
No, they knew it wouldn't work with us.
They were afraid of it.
We weren't in college.
12-19 clock rolling here at Florida Field. Terry Dean play action over the middle. In and out of the hands of Ivory Hilliard. Ivory should have had the pick. Jackson almost still had the touchdown.
Oh, I would love to see what Ivory Hilliard would have done with that football, because that ball was right in his hands. Watch here. Jack Jackson's going to go down, come on a post pattern to the middle. The ball's going to be high. You can see there's Ivory Hilliard touch the ball. Jackson almost, good concentration by him to almost come back and get the football.
Ivory Hilliard. See, he's going to get picked on by his little brother now. He's going to say, hey, big bro, you had a pick and you couldn't even bring it down. And Ike made a big decision when he decided to come to Florida after Dalton played at LSU, and then that's his cousin, and then his big brother comes here to play too. We've got a flag thrown down. That's going to be inadvertent. The timeout was called before the play clock ran out on Terry Dean. We'll take the timeout with the Gators. 12-10 remaining in our contest.
Boy, I sure would love a bacon double cheeseburger. What do you say? You want one?
What do I say? I say you're crazy. We'll lose our spot in line.
We're the only ones in line. Come on. It's just going to take a minute. What could happen?
Hurry to McDonald's, and for a limited time, get the Bacon Double Cheeseburger. It's a bacon lover's dream with twice the meat and that smoky bacon flavor. With large fries and a medium Coke, it's just $2.99.
Hey, is that someone in your seat, Bacon Boy?
What you want is what you get at McDonald's.
Mr. Gullible guy.
Some cars you can talk about. Some cars you can read about. And some cars you simply have to experience. The new 960 from Volvo.
Ah, coach class. Looks comfy, doesn't it? Well, TWA felt you needed more space.
So TWA created Comfort Class with more legroom for the same price. TWA.
This is undoubtedly the richest contract in all of Michigan sports. So we've made quite a commitment to one another, and we know that we're going to get back to our winning way. So without further ado here, everybody gets the chance to witness this great occasion. I'm trying not to be emotional about this. You sure you don't want to back out of this? I'm sure. Sure. All right. I pull out a pen here. My hands are shaking.
My hands too.
There you go. All right. Thanks a lot. Congratulations, and we'll field any questions that you have now.
Back to live action here at the Swamp. Gators. Terry Dean avoiding the pressure, going up top. Jackson can't hold on. Over the arms of Torrey James. He might have got a tip on it. Jack Jackson bounced off his shoulder pad, couldn't haul in his second touchdown reception of the day.
I think that Torrey James had to touch this football because Jack Jackson doesn't miss him like this. See if, in fact, the ball, oh, my goodness, it hit him up, and he had his hands down, and the ball hit him up in the face mask almost. He doesn't miss him like that.
So a 41-yard field goal attempt for Judd Davis. Judd already has one about of equal distance today. And Davis again continues great dominance. I'll tell you what, you don't see him have to go after many field goals, but Judd Davis, one of the finest field goal kickers in the nation, big offensive lineman Jason Odom, is down on the play. The anchor, the offensive tackle, just a junior from Bartow, Florida, 6'5", 297-pounder. He was a second-team All-SEC performer 1 season ago. Jason, over 200 plays in his career, the 93 most outstanding lineman for the Gators of Florida.
Well, you hope that's just a cramp. They're working, obviously, on his lower leg. Might have got it bent up underneath him, got it caught in the pile, so to speak.
We talked earlier about the experience of the offensive line. They've combined for nearly 100 career starts. They've allowed only 5 sacks this year. Those were all last week right here on Prime against Ole Miss. The Gators have averaged 28 first downs a game, 7.1 yards per play, 202 yards on the ground, 530 yards total. And you look at the offensive line and you have to say, although Jason Odom is down now, the reason is it's these big guys doing their job.
Absolutely. It starts up front.
Prime Fans takes you coast to coast every Saturday. Tonight in the Pac-10, USC hopes to bounce back after being upset by Oregon. 22-27, that game played last weekend. It's the USC Trojans and the Beavers of Oregon State. It's live from Parker Stadium at 6:30 Eastern, and it is right here on Prime. Our score at the Swamp in Gainesville. Ben Hill Griffin Stadium at Florida Field, 39-18. Mike Goldberg, Dave Rowe. 11:15 remaining in our contest. Jason Odom being attended to on the football field by the Florida medical staff. Gators next week have the Auburn Tigers in town.
And I will finally give you credit. The sun has finally come out. Now, this is what I call sun. You see shadows on the field, bright sky, blue. That's the sun. The other stuff is rain. There's a good sign, seeing the big man get up and walk off.
All right, so I do have some meteorological skills. I'm just a bad timekeeper because I said it'd be about 15, 20 minutes, and it was more like an hour 15 or an hour 20 minutes.
What a beautiful day. You notice none of the fans bailed out. They believed you. They said, hey, I'm going to stick around. It's going to be dry here in a few minutes.
Hey, Gators don't play again until next Saturday. They got to get there full.
That's a good sign, seeing Oldham walk off the field.
Bart Edmiston, the youngster, with the kickoff duties for Florida. So Shane Edge gets a little bit of a rest, and Odom being helped off the field, but he should be just fine. Back deep, the ever so dangerous number 2, Eddie Kennison. Here's the youngster, Edmiston. Kick it away from Kennison, they do. Troy Twilley. Twilley loses the football. And it should be Gators ball. Yes, Florida has it. Not the way to mount a comeback.
Did you see who came down with the football?
The little guy, number 96, Bart Edmiston.
Watch this. Now, the question is, was he down? Watch the knees. No, he wasn't down there. There comes the ball out, and look who comes up with it.
He is just the little guy, too, isn't he? Bart Edmiston, a sophomore from Pensacola, redshirt sophomore. Received a medical redshirt last year, so he is excited about this. 5'10", 176 pounds. Gators call a timeout. What a play by young Bart. Career stats, he made 7 of 14 field goal attempts, and today he recovers a fumble. 176-pounder playing big for the Gators. We're back after this.
When sports cream, when arms are sore, when legs ache, when muscles hurt. Why sports cream? Massaging sports cream in brings fast pain relief. No medicine-y smell, no odor. Why sports cream? Because it works.
Ah, Coach Class. Looks comfy, doesn't it? Well, TWA felt you needed more space.
So TWA created Comfort Class with more legroom for the same price. TWA.
You're watching NCAA College Football on Prime.
The Lions and 49ers. The heat is on. The Lions to turn their season around. Catch complete coverage from the Silverdome. Is the NHL melting away? Plus, the Pistons are back. Sports Final Edition Sunday at 11:30 only on WDIV-TV Channel 4 in Detroit.
Hi, everyone. Steve Allen here to tell you about an important breakthrough that lets you hear a whisper up to 70 feet away. It's the Whisper XL, an amazing electronic earpiece that lets you hear a pin drop from across the room. The same way binoculars magnify your vision, this tiny device magnifies your hearing. Just slip on the Whisper, turn up the volume, and you're ready for super hearing like never before. Don't turn up the TV, turn on the Whisper XL. Similar devices sell in catalogs for $200 and more. But if you call now, the Whisper XL can be yours for just $29.95. Think of it, just $29.95 for super powerful hearing. Give us a call and turn up the volume.
To order your Whisper XL, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-253-8005 or send check or money order for $29.95 plus $5.50 shipping and handling to Department A, P.O. Box 4943, Omaha, Nebraska. For faster service, call 1-800-253-8005.
It certainly is. This is the Swamp. Gators well on their way to going to 26-1 here in Gainesville under Steve Spurrier. Big pressure immediately applied by Gabe Northern on the quarterback, Terry Dean. Second straight week we've seen some defenses start to break down the offensive line of Florida. But keep in mind, Jason Odom is on the bench right now, and that's the hole in which they use to get that sack.
Well, that's what you want from your defensive end. You want speed around the corner. See big Odom, Jason Odom sitting there. He's got a crutch. He did walk off the football field, and that was a good sign. Boy, Gabe Northern just takes off around that corner, just uses that great speed to get around it.
Smart kid too, Gabe Northern. Highest ranked male academically in his high school. Elijah Williams. Elijah breaks a couple of tackles. He is very short of the first down on that 2nd and 23 play. Gained about 15 yards of it back.
Who gets up last off the bottom of the pile? Gabe Northern.
6'3", 233, just a junior. He and the redshirt freshman David Carmona have been doing the best of the job up front so far for LSU. Two scores very quickly from the new sports score box. Look at that. Boston College victorious over the Irish 30-11. And Michigan doubles up Michigan State in the 4th. The Wolverines leading the Spartans of George Perlis in the Big Ten Conference. Boston College proving to everyone last year was not a fluke. Dean overthrows his intended receiver, Riedel Anthony. You know, we should mention last year in the domination that Florida had over LSU, Dean wasn't even the starting quarterback. Danny Warfel played in that game. Dean came on in relief.
Certainly was. Well, I looked at Steve Spurrier. He did a cartwheel down there on that play.
Well, he was bragging to us yesterday that he's still in pretty good shape. Runs about 3.5, 4 miles a day. About the same as you do, right, Dave? That's your workout.
Well, it's interesting. I said to him, do you ever do some demonstrating? He said, yeah, every once in a while the old shoulder doesn't hurt. You know, I'm not really into golf. I drop back there, throw a few passes. But he said, as I get to 50 years old, he's got to be right around my age. He said, I'm doing a lot more talking about the game.
Gators thus with the incompletion in a punting situation, 4th and 16. Shane Edge is going to punt from about the midfield line.
Well, they may take this delay game to get it 5 yards farther.
Give him a little room to try to work the corners of the field. Pinch back those LSU Tigers. This game is not truly out of reach. Now, don't get mad at me, fans at home. I know it's 39-18, but LSU's been pretty effective moving the football here in the second half.
Well, a game that went against LSU, Auburn, you saw how quickly they could score.
Yeah, we thought that one was out of reach, didn't we, Dave? Did the extra room help? Nope. Kennison gets it at the 9, and he's got a little bit of room. Kennison chased down at the 21-yard line. Return of about 12 yards on the play. Malone with the special teams play. You know, it's interesting. We talked about that game, the 21-point deficit that LSU put on Auburn in a game that displayed some sloppy offense. The winning streak stayed alive. Kenny Alvis, a 38-yard pickoff and touchdown, brought the Tigers to within 7. The tie comes courtesy of Fred Smith. He rolls for 6 after snatching a Jamie Howard throw, and then in the end, Auburn victorious over LSU, 30-26. Reception made by Shedrick Wilson, gain of about 6 or 7. Player down again, and it is the quarterback, number 4, Jamie Howard.
Oh, and he's not moving at all down there. That's not what you want to see. Let's see if we can see on the tail end of this replay when he throws the ball. He looked as if he was in an awkward position. See his feet slip? Then he just gets crunched and bent over. Again, let's take another look at it. Watch his feet. See if they don't slip in the turf. There, they slip a little bit. Then he gets hit front and back and bent over.
Jamie Howard, the starting quarterback. He's the man of today's hour. And while we have a second, speaking of quarterbacks, we saw Melvin Hill earlier. We should note that Josh Booty was recruited by LSU. Booty, the National Player of the Year, really the #1 quarterback ahead of Peyton Manning of the 2 highly recruited senior quarterbacks. Booty opted, though, for the $1.6 million baseball contract from the Florida Marlins, the biggest contract ever offered to a high school player going right into professional baseball. But Booty was a great one. Parade Magazine National Player of the Year, USA Today Offensive Player of the Year, set a national prep record for most passing yards with 11,700 and 126 touchdowns. I think when LSU recruited Josh Booty, they had a feeling he was going to go play baseball, Dave, which is why they went after Melvin Hill for the secondary spot.
Absolutely. Now, you just can't ask a student to stay in school when you get an offer like that. And all these coaches realize it. That's why, for example, Steve Spurrier made the comment that Jack Jackson has the chance to be a #1 draft choice. And you see it so much in basketball because players develop so quickly in basketball. If you've got a chance to be a #1 draft choice, you always want them to come back and finish college. But again, you've got to take advantage of that tremendous financial gain.
And here's the irony of it all. Herb Vincent, our good friend, the sports information director in Baton Rouge at LSU, told us that the team flew Miami Air from Baton Rouge to here in Gainesville. Well, Miami Air also flies the Florida Marlins.
That's right.
Which is who took Josh Booty away from the Tigers. But of course, as you mentioned, $1.6 million, and you might not see me doing the game with you next week.
That's exactly right. Well, now a lot of care being given right here to the quarterback.
Jamie Howard, very impressive today. He hasn't thrown any interceptions. That's more impressive than anything. 61% completion rate.
Yeah, that's the Jamie Howard that we were hoping would show up for this football game. Under a tremendous amount of pressure through 12 interceptions. You see back in comes Melvin Hill, number 17.
Hey, the good point now, he's got a quarter of experience.
That's exactly right. He's not coming in cold.
That's right.
But now what they did on the sideline quickly when Howard was down, they had him over there throwing, taking some snaps so he gets a little bit of a feel. You see 6 of 9, 70 yards.
Let's see if he looks for big brother Chris. Nope. Eddie Kennison, number 2, the little dump off. Kennison has room. Kennison has one man to beat for the touchdown. Can't do it. Gators defensive play by Michael Gilmore, the Rhodes Scholar.
And you know who was out leading that play? Adam Perry, number 76. He was 30 yards downfield. He was just screaming along. He's a big man, 6'3", 290 pounds. Amazing for a lineman to get out there like that.
Gain of 25 yards on the play.
Now there's the big man. You see him. He's in the left of your screen. He's out of your picture. Now the big man running downfield. There he is. He's 30 yards downfield.
That puts it at the midfield line. 1st and 10 on the 50-yard line. 4th quarter, 9:11 remains. Gators lead by 3 touchdowns. Over the middle. Good catch by Shedrick Wilson. A gain of 19, maybe 20 near the 30-yard line. Melvin Hill comes out and makes 2 good plays.
Boy, what a catch there. Yeah. That was an outstanding catch by Wilson to go back against his body and catch it behind him. I mean, it was just like he had glue on his fingers. Again, he's going to be on the right of your screen. Watch him, the ball's thrown behind him. Watch him come back for it. Look at this. Back behind him. Tremendous concentration.
Swamp's starting to rumble a bit. Gain of 19, they spotted at the 31. Hill over the middle, almost intercepted. A little miscommunication with the wide receiver. Brett Besh and Anton Lott almost had his second pick of the day of Melvin Hill.
Now that's a good example of a quarterback that almost threw an interception and it was not his fault. Besh broke off the pattern for whatever reason. I think he slipped a little bit in the grass, but he broke off his pattern. The quarterback, thinking he was going to continue, threw the ball, let it go, and it was almost intercepted. That's what happened to Howard a lot too. Howard had a lot of tip balls, a lot of drop balls, and a lot of balls that should not have been interceptions. Now this young quarterback can hear the noise.
2nd and 10, 31-yard line. Flags on the play, and they whistle it down.
May have taken too much time. Again, he's so concerned about just getting the snap, he's not looking up at the game clock on the field.
In his high school career, Melvin Hill threw for over 4,000 yards and 60 touchdowns. I guess that's why he impressed Curly's staff.
Dead ball foul, delay of game, offense.
You see Curly Holman walking in there, you've got to be looking downfield. That was what that signal was to him. You sure can't talk it out to him. Now this crowd, they rest in between plays. You notice this? Real quiet right now. Okay, now watch when they, now it's almost like it's a signal. They broke the huddle. Right. Okay, now here we go.
Well, they're all still here too. Thus the point, this certainly isn't Dodger Stadium. They stay for the whole football game in Gainesville. 2nd and 15. Good time for Melvin Hill. Overthrew his receiver. Almost the overthrow was enough to get the football to Eddie Kennison, but certainly Todd Burks was the intended receiver.
Boy, his offensive line's given him a lot of time to look downfield. That time Hill flushed out a little bit to the strong side, even had time to come back to the weak side. But then again, great coverage by this Florida secondary. They play man-to-man coverage and zone coverage as well as any team that I've seen this year. Now again, it's real quiet. You see, they're not even clapping their hands now.
3rd and 15. Melvin Hill, true freshman. If you joined us late, Melvin started the football game. LSU wants a timeout. And now they will only have one remaining. The Gators have burned all 3 of their timeouts already here in the 2nd half. And that's something you're going to get with a young quarterback, a little confusion. LaFleur says, let's talk about it. And we'll take a break. Come back. We're live on Prime.
Imagine a couple of Swedish engineers have dinner with a couple of German engineers. The Swedish engineers overhearing talk about safety, while the German engineers over bratwurst talk about the joy of driving. And what do you think they'd end up with? Probably the new Volvo 960. Now the only question is, who's going to pick up the tab? The new 960 from Volvo.
Why is Embassy Suites twice the hotel? First, you get a suite with 2 big rooms. Evening beverages are on the house, not on the bill. And our cook-to-order breakfast is free of charge. Obviously, this isn't your typical hotel. It's twice the room, twice the comfort, and twice the value. And it's only at Embassy Suites. Twice the hotel. Call 1-800-EMBASSY.
Hunter looks at the shot clock. It shows 5. Has to go behind his back. May have to force it now. Terry Mills, a look. 1 tick left. Got it! Oh, he drilled it. Oh, what an improbable finish in Seattle. 89-87.
It's time to jam.
Can you dig it? The Trojans roll into Parker Stadium as the Beavers look to dam the flow. It's an all-out war in the Pac-10.
USC battles Oregon State live at 6:30 tonight on Pass Sports.
Hi, I'm Steve Garagiola on the set of Live on Pass. The set? What happened to the set? Let me tell you. Get this junk out of here. Out with the old, in with the new. Big new changes. Mega changes. Live on Pass Monday.
It's the zone, baby. Live on Pass is in the zone.
Was that? No, it might be. You better find out. Monday, Live on Pass, 6 o'clock.
It's the mega sportsman Ike Griffin in the house. Live on Pass.
Welcome back live on Prime. Florida Gators, top-ranked team in the nation, leading the Tigers of LSU 39-18. 8:33 remaining. Mike Goldberg alongside Dave Rowe. producer-director today, Kevin Shank. Flag on the play, and they won't even get it off. Movement by 74, Sean Wells, on the offensive line of LSU. Jamie Howard being escorted off the football field. He is done for the afternoon. Played impressively in his 2 quarters plus, but an injury
Dead ball foul.
brings his day to an end.
Yeah, and you hate to see that. As the young man was starting to get back his confidence, had good stats in this football game under a lot of pressure. He answered, he responded, he played well, and you just hate to see him. But that injury looked as if he got his bell rung. That's what we used to call it. They put ice around your neck and you kind of walk off, and it's like, now what's the score, Coach?
Dogs win 40-14 over Clemson. We'll see Georgia and Vanderbilt next week on Prime. Hill avoids the sack once, but Kevin Carter hauls him down. Big Kevin Carter, the Lombardi Award semifinalist.
Boy, you love a player like Kevin Carter. Plays full go. Now this game, he's been playing every play in this game. He's on the left of your screen. He's just going to go through there. It's a loop into the middle. You see him a lot of time here for the quarterback, but again, there's Carter comes into the scene and rips him down. Boy, he puts a hand on him. He does not let go.
Hunting situation thus for Chad Kessler and LSU. Kevin Carter, the SEC Defensive Player of the Week. 9 tackles, 2.5 sacks last week against Ole Miss. You saw Sorolla Palmer back deep to receive Kessler's kick. And he will take it, fair catch at the 10-yard line.
Fair catch, Palmer.
Interesting still, Terry Dean.
And Danny Werfel not getting a lot of action last week in a blowout situation either. I mean, Steve Spurrier waiting very late to go to Werfel, but I think there's also a situation where Terry Dean is working on some things with the head coach, because truly there are 2 tough dates that lie ahead for the Gators, and that's next week against Auburn right here at the Swamp, and then the big one, November 26th at Tallahassee's Doak Campbell Stadium, the Florida State Seminoles and the Gators. Elijah Williams, the ball carrier. Stutter steps and he'll lose 1, maybe 2 yards. Danny Werfel, very impressive 1 year ago against the LSU Tigers in that 58-3 win. Werfel was 14 of 28, over 200 yards in the air, 4 touchdowns. Impressive this year, 12 of 19, 170 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. Elijah Williams is still down on the football field.
Yeah, I thought Williams got bent back over again. Again, you know, there's a real controversy amongst coaches whether you take out your starters when you've got a lead like this. Let's watch Williams as, again, he's running strong side, takes the ball, comes back inside. The tail end of this play is what perhaps might have hurt him when he gets hit here. Now he gets bent back over. You see the bent back over on that knee. But the controversy, Mike, is do you rest your starters? You've got a big game next week for Florida. They have Auburn coming in here. Do you take out your quarterback hoping he doesn't get hurt? Do you take out Elijah Williams? You've got a 21-point lead with 7.5 minutes left. Or do you play him because you want him to have that timing, so to speak?
Don't forget, this is just the first of a college football doubleheader live on Prime. Pac-10 football coming up later this evening. The USC Trojans, the Oregon State Beavers. Check your local listings. We kick it off tonight on Prime, Pac-10 style. Our doubleheader continues here on Week 6 on Prime. Beautiful campus, Gainesville, Florida, the University of Florida, the largest state university in the Sunshine State, and also the largest college in the Southeastern Conference.
Well, you talked earlier about the talent that they have in this state. It's incredible. When you start looking at the likes of Miami recruiting to the south, of course, they have a national recruiting team. Then you look at Florida with the talent that they have. Then you look at Florida State. Oh my, where do they all come from?
Well, you know, they all go from the same banks, and one of the finest football teams in the state of Florida is Elijah Williams being helped off the field. Resides in what they call Bradenton, Florida. It's Manatee High School. Steve Spurrier not pleased, obviously, with the injury to Elijah Williams, maybe questioning himself if Elijah should be in a football game with a 21-point lead. But that program in Bradenton, Florida, the Manatee Hurricanes, produced some great ones like Tommy Frazier we mentioned earlier. Then you go up to Pensacola. You go to the Panhandle, Pensacola, Scambia High School, and an Emmitt Smith comes out. The skilled players in the state of Florida are better than any other skilled players in the nation as a whole. You're going to have some good ones come from Texas, certainly, Dave. Man, do they have some talent down here in the South. There's Fred Taylor, and there's a good indication of it. Elijah Williams is hurt. Certainly, we hope he'll be just fine. But you take out an Elijah Williams and you put in a Fred Taylor.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot of drop-off, a different type of runner. But I could just read in Steve Spurrier's face when he came to the sideline. He was doing exactly what you were saying, going, should I have taken him out? Should I have brought in some of the younger kids? We've got a big game next week. We've got this game somewhat under control unless something catastrophic happens. And then you lose an Elijah Williams.
It should be duly noted that they don't have a lot of depth, though, at the tailback position because of the two guys who were supposed to come back to school this year and ended up not being able to. Terry Dean with the football on the keeper and gets the first down. Gabe Northern defensively. We'd like to welcome you on Prime to the Swamp in Gainesville, Florida. It is week 6 of our college football game of the week. Mike Goldberg, Dave Bro, bringing you the top-ranked Florida Gators and the LSU Tigers. 39-18, our fourth quarter score, 6:13 remaining in the contest. The Gators offensively, once again, going to surpass 40 points potentially. Fred Taylor trying to help out my prediction as he rushes for another first down up near the 45-yard line. A gain on the play of 21.
You know, on that last play just before that Fred Taylor run, I was thinking when Terry Dean took that ball and drove up the middle, I was thinking Steve Spurrier saying, oh boy, I don't want you running the ball, I want you passing the ball. But Fred Dean, now there's a running back. Look at that. See how he kind of balls up when he's going to get a hit and kind of bounces off the defender.
Down on the play, that's 82, Pat Rogers. We've seen Pat come up with some good defensive plays today. Also on the special teams, he blocked the punt.
Well, you look at a game like this, and everybody was saying 30, 40-point difference. But LSU has played a great football game. I mean, to come in with as much discord as they had.
Pat Rogers, well. Just a sophomore day from Shreveport. 5'11", 215 pounds. For a short guy, he's pretty stocky, isn't he?
He sure is. But he's in that position where he's playing outside backer. He needs that combination of speed and size, and he's played very, very well today for him.
Played in 8 games as a true freshman last season. His season high was 7 tackles against Tulane. Ironically, Tulane, where Bobby Pruitt used to be the coach. Bobby Pruitt, now the defensive coordinator of the Florida Gators. It was funny. He made a great comment yesterday. He said, when you coach at Tulane, now there's pressure, because every time you go on the road, you're somebody's homecoming game.
Yes.
He says, we got to the point where we started taking our float on the road with us.
He said we were 6 times we were homecoming game. Even in December, we were homecoming.
Rogers getting up under his own power, which is good to see. And he'll have a little work done on the knee, but good to see our friend Pat Rogers working his way to the sideline. Gators fans love their football. You know, I can't see if
You know what my mama says about people who go to Florida State?
Stupid is this. Stupid.
Sounds a little bit like Forrest Gump.
There you go. Turn around and give us number 1.
Is their mom Forrest Gump? No,
Shrimp Creole. Shrimp Gumbo. Cut back by Freddie Taylor. Over the midfield line. Near the 40-yard line of LSU. Bobby Pruitt said to us yesterday, what an interesting guy, as you alluded to earlier, as the Gators moving the football offensively. He said the key to their defense this year is the fact that they're able to pressure with 4.
Yep, exactly. You need 4 men. You can drop 7 back. What a good cut there by Fred Taylor to come back to the weak side. You know, he's interesting. You read his bio material. He's got some really interesting quirks. Wears that wristband on his left ankle, turns around and has a Band-Aid. He puts a Band-Aid every game over his heart. I never heard that one.
Freddie Taylor over 100 yards on the ground today. And he's going to add to the total. Another first down for the Gators, and they're really using some gaping holes now. A gain of 12 on the play.
Now you turn around and you start thinking, now how badly hurt was Elijah Williams? Fred Taylor certainly picking up the slack right now.
Elijah is on the sidelines, off your camera range, on crutches, with his shoe and sock off on his right leg. Elijah Williams, you see him right there, working his way into the locker room. And in at quarterback, number 7, Danny Werfel.
And you get the opinion that that's an ankle. You see how they had taken off his sock and everything. A knee they wouldn't take normally off the sock.
Freddie Taylor again, still on his feet, breaks another tackle and another until Ivory Hilliard finally brings him down at the 15-yard line. A gain of 13.
It's just like Fred Taylor said, hey, I'm going to end this game. Just keep on giving me the ball. My friend Elijah's hurt. Just give me the football. It's Taylor time, they're saying here in Gainesville. Look at the number of yards he gets after he's hit. You're not going to bring him down with an arm tackle. Breaks tackles there and then carries the defender 3 or 4 more yards.
Taylor averaging 9.2 yards per carry on the afternoon. Man, that's impressive. 1st and 10. Ball spotted on the 16-yard line. Taylor again. Gain of about 4. He's brought down by Torrey James, the cornerback. Taylor, a workhorse. We've seen it on frequent opportunity today. When the Gators get the football, they'll go to Freddie Taylor. And it's interesting, last week against Ole Miss, Dave, you and I did the game, and Elijah Williams was kind of the featured back.
Well, they are using Taylor on this drive. I don't think anyone else has carried the football on this drive. At least 5 carries I know of in a row.
Remember that first drive? He had something like 56 yards on the ground just in the first drive of the game. Danny Wuerffel, the quarterback, number 7, in relief of Terry Dean. Dean impressive day to day.
What do you think? Give it back to Taylor?
I think yes.
Yeah, why not?
Going nowhere. I think LSU thought the same thing. Stansberry in on the play.
Well, it's kind of fair. You just tell him, say, hey, we're going to give the ball to Taylor. See if he can tackle him.
Taylor, Williams, redshirt freshman. Steve Spurrier made an interesting comment yesterday. He said freshmen nowadays are much more mature than they were maybe 5-10 years ago. And of course, he's speaking about his particular group of freshmen. But the 4 guys that he has playing a lot, he says, are 4 of the youngest, nicest guys you'll ever want to meet. Yes, sir, no, sir. Yes, coach, no, coach. And they really, really do a nice job at their preparation. Palmer has to get off the field so the Gators can run their play. They do. Wuerffel under pressure. Over the middle, incomplete. Pressure was coming from the backside big time. Alan Stansberry got a good hit on Danny Wuerffel.
Yeah, they were a little bit hurt by that play. They're saying, hey, you're throwing the ball on us late in the game here. Look at the pressure from the top. Boy, that's the quarterback's most vulnerable position.
So for the 3rd time today, we'll see Judd Davis. This will be a chip shot for Judd, just a 30-yard field goal attempt.
Well, Stansberry's played well, number 43 there. He's been all over the field today.
No question about it. No question about Judd Davis. 3 for 3 on the afternoon with the foot. Gators lead now 42-18. 2:34 remaining in the contest. The Gators will remain the #1 team in the nation. And now I think finally some people are sitting down and going, all right, bring on those Auburn Tigers.
Well, you start talking about who's the player of the game. There are some outstanding choices today. You saw the block punt early. Fred Taylor certainly played really well. Terry Dean has played very well. There's a lot of them.
Gatorade, as you mentioned to me last week, founded right here in the state of Florida. How about our Gatorade play of the game? We go back to the first quarter. Melvin Hill at quarterback, moving the LSU Tigers, but the drive stopped here, courtesy of Antone Lott.
Yeah, this was a tremendous interception. And Lott really knew what to do with the football. Picked up 3 or 4 just great blocks right here. Set up a couple other ones. And he was off for, what, an 82-yard score, I believe it was.
82 yards. Antone Lott ran into the end zone. And that is our Gatorade play of the game. Antone Lott, cousin of the multiple Pro Bowler, Ronnie Lott. Really a standout with the San Francisco 49ers, still extending his NFL career with the New York Jets. Bart Edmiston to kick off again, our good friend, the little guy, 96.
Well, I doubt that Edmiston will get the play that he had last time, the fun he had last time. Get that fumble.
They still haven't left the swamp.
Now they start that clapping with that alligator mouth.
See, they have to be careful they don't sound too much like the Tallahassee tomahawk chop, though, because that would not be apropos here in the state of Florida. Obviously, by those T-shirts, if you are a Gator, you are not a Seminole. Neither of them like the Hurricanes, as a matter of fact. That's a good national game tonight. The Florida State Seminoles down at the Orange Bowl to take on the Hurricanes of Miami. Edmiston, short kick, taken at about the 17-yard line. Working towards the outside, a return of about 20 yards by number 18, Clarence Lenton.
You know, they call you talked about the Seminoles with the chop.
Right.
They call the alligator the chomp.
Well, this is the 7th time in LSU history they've played number 1. They're going to go to 0-6-1. Last 4 games had been thrillers, tying Nebraska in 76 and 91. They played Florida State very tough, losing 27-16, but it'll be 0-6-1 for LSU in their fine history against the top-ranked team in the nation. Over the middle, little dump off. Kevin Franklin. But you know what? When you put it all in perspective for Curly Hallman, and certainly there has been a lot of trouble the last couple of weeks in Baton Rouge, he still said to us yesterday, he said, our football team was not scared about today. We were excited to play number 1.
Sure they were. Any coach that's worth his salt will tell you they love playing number 1. It's a great opportunity. You don't get that opportunity very often where you get a chance to play. He's a very, very likable coach. He's got a lot of fun. He tells great stories. We shared last night on the field here for about 15 minutes. Great stories about his old players.
And the completion from Hill to number 2, Eddie Kennison.
This is kind of like scramble football. You know, you're going to see a lot of different things. You're going to see there's a lot of player changes now. You're going to see a lot of, you know, you go down long, you come back here, you do this, you do that. Scrambling by the quarterback. He's trying to hurry up offense to get another score, possibly get it up to 42 to say 25.
101st season of football at LSU. 3rd and 2, ball on the 45, under 2 minutes remain. Hill, was he inbounds?
Oh,
yes,
what a great
first down, Tigers.
Well, you know, you go back to that one where Hill missed that one early. I mean, he has caught the ball very well in the second half. He's made some adjustments.
Brett Besh on the reception. We saw Brett with that 76-yard touchdown, pardon me, against Auburn earlier this year on Prime. That was week 3 of our college football schedule. 42-18 our score here. 1:44 remains.
You know, to go back to Brett Besh, we haven't seen very much of him today. He's been covered well. He was one of their long men. He had a 21-yard average per catch, so they really have eliminated him today.
With good time, over the middle, intercepted. Florida football once again. Michael Gilmore with the pick. Gilmore, the senior from Shipley, had 2 picks against the Rebs. 2 picks on the year, 1 against the Rebs, 1 at Tennessee. Gets 1 today.
And Mike, this is where you take a young quarterback like Hill, and you see Curly Holman standing talking to him on the sideline over there, and he's saying things like, he's saying, hey, listen, you can't force the ball. You're doing a good job.
Michael Gilmore, one of the nation's premier student athletes. He's a Rhodes Scholar, pre-med, graduates in December and will attend the UF Medical School. So here's a kid who puts it all together. And our young kids watching the football game at home today, that's what you want to be like. You want to play football, you want to go to school, you want to get your grades, and you want to have success. Eric Presser in a quarterback from Florida. Presser hands off to number 23, Dwayne Mobley.
This is one of those grinded out times if you're for Florida, because Steve Spurrier knows that you just do not want to embarrass a team. You want to come out here. It's been a great football game. 2 heated teams. They played really hard football. You want to come out here, try to move the football, give Presser his chance to move the football, but again, don't run it up.
At halftime, we said watch Mississippi State as a dark horse in the SEC. They trail at home to the Auburn Tigers 21-0. War Eagle, huh? And again, the upset, Boston College over Notre Dame, 30-11. LSU football, possibly? Yes! LSU comes up with the football late, and Melvin Hill will go on the offensive one more time.
And that's what you want to see from your defense. You want to see a game like this where you're down and nobody quits. Under a minute left, your team is going there. They're trying to rip the ball out. They're trying to get the ball back for the offense. Heads up play.
And that's what we talked about before. Curly saying his team, although they are going to fall to 1-4, come in with a good mental attitude, even through times of adversity. So on the offensive again, Melvin Hill, the quarterback. Line of scrimmage, 29-yard line. Hill over the middle, complete. No, in and out of the hands of his big brother, into the hands of a Florida defender. They'll call number 42 of the Gators down there. That's Darren Hambrick.
That's amazing. Now there's an interception that is not deserved by the quarterback.
That was little brother to big brother, and big brother couldn't hold on.
Watch right here across the middle. You just can't bobble the ball in there and then tip it up right into the hands of a defender. Just can't do that. Now the quarterback gets credit for an interception.
That's right. Unfairly. Darren Hambrick with the pick for the Florida Gators. Hambrick the star for now, but he should just say thank you very much to Chris Hill, who couldn't bring in younger brother Melvin's pass. 32 seconds, 31. Mobley again, the ball carrier. No, we spend a lot of time thanking the various people who help us. John Humanick, the sports information director at the University of Florida, doing a great job. But how about our production crew here for Prime Sports? Kevin Schenk, our producer director, our technical director Craig Farrell, Mike Helling, our graphics coordinator, Dean Blau, John Honeycutt, and of course our man Dave Rowe Elvis. Jeff Stanton doing a great job with the statistical support today. A football game once again won here at the Swamp by the Florida Gators. 42-18 the final. Spurrier 26-1 here at home. We'll take a timeout, come back and wrap it up as you get ready for the Pac-10 later.